Yo. So we're continuing with the visual novel romance, if you want, romance game, Our Life. I don't know how long it's been since I last played it. It doesn't feel like that long ago, but I suppose it is quite long ago. Yeah, I forgot Curve had these kind of eyebrows. These eyebrows. Yeah, it's been a while, and I feel like we are starting to get to the end of it, because after this graduation summer, there's only like one section left, and that is like adulthood, but it doesn't include the summer memories, so it's like shorter. It's like a one sequence, which is like longer instead of like multiple sequences like so far it's been. And I think we can pull it off in like a 6-hour stream, like one day, or maybe in 2 sections. I tend to yap when I play Our Life. Anyway. It's oh, it's gonna be a tiring stream. Wait, let's go back to menu. Let's load a game. Okay. Where did we end? Wait, where did we end at the last stream of Our Life? I need to check this. What is that? I thought we ended at the menu, so it would be easy to understand where we left off. I might just open my previous Our Life stream and see the ending. I just saved. Oh wait, we did get to end menu. Here I saved the stream. What the heck? We went on a... I suppose we didn't end the sequence, so we are in the middle of a fucking... It was February 15th. It's been 1.5 months, approximately. I am confused. Where are we continuing from? Where are we? What is this? So it seems like the last thing we did in the game was like we went on a road trip to visit Cove's mom to get some of Cove's stuff from the mom's place, and then came back. And I think after that we went to see fireflies in the hill, on the hill, at the hill, on top of the hill. I think that's what happened, but I'm more than confused by like what is happening here. Did we like? It didn't seem we started a new memory, but it seems I just got tired and didn't want to continue anymore because this summer memory has been so long. I suppose what happened was that I was running out of time. It was 15th of February. Let's see my calendar if I did have something after that stream. Yes, let's see. Yeah, it was the day before my phone broke. No, it's February. We are talking about February. I don't have anything. I have no idea. Maybe I just got really tired. I suppose we just need to read through this to get a sense of where we are, you know? You flick through the plans for the next few months, realizing that you didn't even know when you'd next have the opportunity for everyone to be in the same place again. I got myself a new mouse, okay? Because my previous one had problems. This one, I feel like My table doesn't have like a flat surface. It's a little curved because it's like an over 100-year-old table I got from a sketchy seller. But it's like, it's uneven. I think this mouse is worse than my previous one, even though they're from the same price. Like, they're the same price and from the same, like, I don't know, developer. But like sometimes it doesn't like completely, like, I don't capture the movement. I don't know. We have the log, I just realized. So we were in a car. The world returned. So we got back from our little adventure to Nevada. And then the adventure would end, life could continue, but the memories would linger on. Moths pounced against the window, attracted by the light of your room as I recall in the slowly darkening sky. Just as the day was coming to an end, so too would summer. Liz would be moving back into the dorms before long. Luckily, Lee had been able to stay for a short trip before her own new journey began. She'd officially been accepted to her first choice college a few weeks ago. This was her last chance to see you all in person for... Oh. In person for some time. I suppose I just gave up. I was like tired and tried to get this done and dealt with, and then Liz is like coming to the scene. Now I understand why I ended the stream last time in the middle of this kind of like memory going on. It was hard to think that you'd likely be seeing even less of your cousin going forward, but you were delighted that she was pursuing her dreams. While you were still with each other, your family was going to have dinner together. As ever, the Holdens were tagging along too. Well, that's great. We were going to the Chinese restaurant. It was somewhere your family had always enjoyed going, ever since you and Liz were tiny. This is extremely long memory, if this same memory includes the trip to Nevada. Why is this not a separate memory? That with long-standing connection. What long-standing connection made it a fitting location for a final meal out before Liz and Lee set off again? Technically, you were getting ready to go out, though your mind was only half on the task. Have we been hanging out with our cousin, though? Or was it so that we were offered the option to hang out with her and we just like skipped it? I'm not sure. Do we have that in the log? No, nothing. Just we've had this. This is extremely long, isn't it? What the heck? This has been such a long sequence. It was a pleasantly warm evening, the kind that epitomized the vacation feeling, and you were in no mood to spoil it by rushing around. It was strange to think that summer was coming to an end, yet you wouldn't be returning to school. That pattern had been in place for as long as you could remember and had come to feel like a natural rhythm, as inescapable as the coming of the tide. This was the first time that you were going to be able to set your own tune. Whatever came next was entirely up to you. I guess we could go and say you were nervous but ready. I think that's a standard like thing. I don't know. Breaking from the structure of the old routine was scary. You could admit that. Yet you didn't want to be a child forever. You were going to hold your head high and face the future. Mom called up from downstairs, tearing you from your thoughts as she told you it was time to head off. You raced downstairs, looking forward to the evening. Everyone piled into the car. While it was marked Marketed as being suitable to hold 5 people, in practice it made for a very tight fit. Your mom sitting in the front were fine. You, Liz and Lee, were squished into the back. Lee in the middle, wedged between you and your sister. But Mom was an excellent timekeeper. Thanks to her efforts, you pulled up near the next restaurant on time. The process of getting out of the car was slightly easier than squeezing into it, with much less coordination required to release seatbelts than to secure them. You gave Lee a hand as she clambered out from the middle seat, then headed into the building as a group. A waiter greeted you as you entered. Ma let him know how many of you there would be in total, and he went to arrange a table that met your needs. He returned promptly to guide you to your seats. You perched comfortably in your chair, your head held aloft as if buoyed by today's good fortune. Your family settled down around you, all cheerful and looking forward to the evening off ahead. Your drinks order had just been taken when the Holdens came through the door. They were pointed in your direction, though with Mom waving an arm in the air it was hardly necessary. Cove and Mr. Holden came to join you at the table. As greetings were being exchanged, Cove took a seat opposite to you. It had been left empty by an unspoken acknowledgement that you and Cove would be wanting to sit together. I've always wondered about this though, like, do people want to sit opposite from each other or like side by side next to each other? Like, I think it would make sense when there is someone you like or someone you go to eat with or whatever, like a special person in group setting, or then if you go to eat somewhere, I think it would make sense to sit opposite from each other, because then you don't have to like strain your neck talking to each other if you want to talk to each other's like direction and also see what the other person is doing, like when they're in your side, in your view. Isn't that the best case scenario, because you also like to look at them? But like, I remember there's been multiple times I feel like where I've sat to the opposite side and a person has been confused by it. They're like, why don't we sit next to each other? But like, you don't see the person if they're next to, like, of course you can have maybe more physical contact if it's like more like a sofa, like a couch kind of thing, or like I don't know, you can be next to each other maybe more easily if the table is so that if you're opposite to each other you're further away. But like, I don't know, that made me like, I always thought it's logical to sit like opposite from each other because of the aforementioned reasons. but that made me think, like, is it more agreeable to sit next to each other? Should we Google this? Do you prefer sitting next to another or opposite from another? I don't know. Okay. Do you sit across from or with your SO at restaurants? Reddit. Across from each other. She's... Oh, yeah, people are like deaf in 1 ear, so... Yeah. Okay. Okay, now everyone's talking about across, that way we can have direct eye contact while in conversation. That sounds horrible. Is that the only reason? Like, nothing else? Just have a direct eye contact while I've always... I don't know, it's odd when people like want the direct eye contact in conversation. Like, I don't know, I just generally want to see the whole of the other person. I want to see how they eat, what they eat, how they enjoy their meal, their expressions, what they do with their hands. I want to see what happens behind them, in how they are interacting with the like environment. So it seems at the table we sit next to each other, or to adjacent corners. Okay, that's interesting. Across so we can see each other. Do y'all not look at each other? Eat sitting sideways? And then there's a person whose name is Narcislut. Narcislut. Yes, we eat sitting sideways. If we want to look at each other, we just turn our heads. His love language is physical touch, and we like being able to hold hands, but one's head on the other, put the one's head on the other shoulder, etc. as we wait for the food to arrive. So yeah, I guess some people think a physical contact is easier sitting next to each other. Okay, it seems my short, very scientific research on this topic has proved that I am right, and that sitting across from each other is the ultimate way. Topic is closed now. Anyway, Mr. Holden sat beside him.
Hi.
It's great to see you. Lee sounds way too enthusiastic. Glad you could make it. Like, I don't know, I just feel like Lee is such an unnecessary character here. Like, she's an outsider to Cove's family by being a cousin from elsewhere. But now she's also an outsider to... no. She's an outsider to the main character's family, so like our family, because she's just a cousin from elsewhere. And she's also obviously an outsider to Cove's family, to the Holden families. And then she's an outsider to, like, she's a third wheel to Cove and main character. And then these two families have inside jokes and trips they've taken together and stuff, and she hasn't partaken, and now she's just here. That sounds like really exhausting and anxiety-inducing and uncomfortable. Glad you could make it. Hello everyone. You wouldn't believe how hungry I am.
I see.
You came to the right place then. Why did the person or people who made the game not include them here, like these characters on the screen? There was some laughter though, Liz groaned playfully, shaking her head at Mom's sense of humor. Growing up, she'd have complained, and Mom would have responded by making another comment. Liz had mellowed over the years, but she still made a show of despairing at Mom's jokes. Her reaction to them had become a joke in its own right. Menus were soon passed around, and a temporary hush fell over the table as everyone read. It didn't last long, punctured by comments about what people had eaten here before and light chatter about what people were considering tonight. Once the waiter had disappeared with the orders, Cliff piped up.
Okay.
So, I've got some good news. Kara's making a trip out here tomorrow. Cove nodded, turning from his father to the rest of the table. No. I tried to mentally prepare to seeing Cove, but it is a shock.
Very nice.
Very nice. Everyone reacted positively to the news, though Ma looked wistful. That would be so funny if someone was like angry about it or upset. If only we'd known. Here we are having a big meal without her. If we'd waited one day, she could have joined us. Mom patted Ma on the back, gently nudging her from the realm of possibilities and what-ifs and back to the evening that was going so well. Chin up. Lee and Liz will still be here tomorrow. We'll just have to throw another get-together and keep the fun train chugging along. Ma smiled warmly, taking Mom's hand in hers. Yeah, what-ifs are not helpful. Yesterday we were hanging out with my friends, and my one friend dyed my other friend's hair, like the tips of the hair, pink. And after the hair dye was applied and the hair was washed and all, we settled down to watch Twilight movie number 2, because we are doing a marathon, apparently. Not marathon, but we are watching through them. It's painful. It's so bad. Anyway, and then after the movie had ended, and we looked at the wall and it had a huge pink stain on it. And at the same time, the window, which I wasn't able to close properly, just flung open. Can you say that? Fling open, flung open, flinged open, flung open, and knocked over a plant. And then we were there like, oh shit. And I felt like, I don't know, in those situations, of course you need a moment to like breathe in. There's a stain in the wall. But then, you know, instead of going to the what ifs and what if nots and stuff like that, just like practical matters. And then we started to clean the wall. And the next problem though was that once we started rubbing the wall, the paint started to flake off. So we used like nail polish remover because we realized that most things don't really work for the hair dye that's like rubbed into the wall. So we used nail polisher, even water though. We like first we used the cloth with water to see like the situation, and that already started, I think, making the paint like start flaking off, peeling off a little bit. What is that paint made of? Like, shouldn't wall paint be a little bit more, I don't know, sturdy? I don't know. Anyway, so that was another like breakdown moment, but we kept going. It turned out fine. We got the wall, we peeled off like a little bit of the paint layer. There was multiple layers of paint, so it was fine, of the same paint. So the first layer of paint just came off a little bit, but we were able to manage it to look okay, and you know, we got rid of the pink stain. The flower was fine. But like, yeah, it was like, I don't know. I think it's I think in crisis situations, when I'm doing well enough, my first response is like just like practically like think about practical matters, like what can we do now, like solution thinking, and then after that maybe have an emotional, like, I don't know, outburst, but you know. But if it was my own apartment, I don't know, it really would have depended on my mood. I could have also just wanted to die and send my friends away and just have a mental breakdown, but after the mental breakdown, usually I rise up like a phoenix and start doing shit, you know. Oh man, that was so funny though. Anyway, I just got reminded of it, wanted to share. Anyway, that's true. There's plenty to celebrate right now, but there will be more good news and good times on the horizon. Right. And speaking of that, not all we've got either. I hear my neighbors in the stair. Okay, in the stairs. I hear my neighbors. Someone opened or closed the door, or like both. Of course, first opens the door and then closes it. But I don't know if they came out or went in. Mr. Holden's eyes were alight as he sat up straight in his chair, face angled towards his son. He barely let a beat go by before nudging Cope with his elbow, pushing him to follow up hydration on the announcement. He was the very picture of a proud papa. Papa? Cove shied away from the limelight and ducking his head down and staring at the lap as he spoke. Well, I've switched over to working full-time instead of only part-time, plus I've been looking at apartments. There's a few I can choose from. I hate these kind of announcement situations. Announcement situations are horrible situations. I never announce anything unless it's like fun. But I don't know, what is this odd situation, like tell them about your new job. I don't know, it's like if you make it a situation, it feels uncomfortable, doesn't it? He flicked his gaze up at everyone around the table, a smile creeping over his face. I'll be pretty busy going forward. Apartments. He was moving. He was going to move out of his dad's house. After 10 years, he wasn't going to be a neighbor anymore. Mr. Holden gripped one of Cove's shoulders and gave it a loving shake. His excitement couldn't be contained. Incredible! Cove's actually going to make it to adulthood. It's a miracle. Mr. Holden leaned back in his chair, staring up at the ceiling in a mock wonder.
I'm so glad.
I wasn't convinced I'd be able to rear a child all the way to this point, but thankfully I lucked out and got the best boy a dad could have asked for. Dad? Cove blinkered his vision with his hands on the side of his face, temporarily blocking his father from sight. Despite his genuine bashfulness, which left him unable to meet anyone's eyes after all the attention thrust his way, he was happy.
Thanks.
I was really lucky too. You're a good. Oh my god. Holden threw an arm around Cove's neck, pulling him into as close of a hug as the seating allowed. He rubbed his cheek on the top of his son's head. I'm getting tired of this already. Well, Cove chuckled, accepting the affection with good humor. Can we get over this? He looked around at the faces of the company here. You'd been on this journey with everyone here for years, seen them falter and grow, and they had watched you go through the same. Cove was leaving his family home. Liz was heading back to college while Lee was starting at hers. You were staying close, but it was clear you were all heading in different directions to different destinations. This is why you don't date before, I don't know, being close to graduation from higher education, question mark? I don't know, once before entering some kind of independent life. Like, you don't start dating for long term in like some fucking high school, right? Right? Some near and some far, but it wouldn't be long until you were all going your own way, yes. It was bittersweet. You turned your head to the side, wistful, not wanting to spoil the evening with your troubles. You were glad that everyone was succeeding, but the idea of splitting up gave you a twinge of regret. These people had been the key pillars of your life. Days ahead without them, no matter how bright and shiny, felt a little empty, like a theme park after closing time. Let's focus on the sweet side. New adventures were still ahead, and you could encourage that optimism. I have become an optimist. I have decided to become an optimist after all these years of pessimism, of losing hope in humanity in life. I have decided that I can just decide to become an optimist. Let's embrace that in this video game too. Cove brought some attention to himself with a clearing of his throat and a small interjection. I've got to stretch my legs while we're waiting for the food and everything.
Sure.
With a tiny smile, he nodded at his dad, but the lightness to his expression faded when he moved to face you. Wanna come? He was attempting to be subtle, but there was very obviously something on his mind, something he wanted to talk to you about alone. You watched him with concern as you rose from your seat. Yeah, I'll go. Take care. With those parting words, the two of you walked about the place. He was trying to get as far away from everyone else as possible without actually exiting the building. Didn't you want to go outside? That's even worse. Like, you move inside of the restaurant, like some wall? What? No, you go outside to the, like, I don't know, parking lot or whatever. Like, this is awkward. If you're within eyesight of the other people, it's not private enough. What did you need to say? He hadn't admitted that was what this was about. He didn't need to. Cove started pulling on the hem of his shirt. He turned his head back to face you, but it was an awkward moment. I wanted to talk to you one-on-one about all this, you know, my work, moving, I mean, it was coming before, but now it's pretty much here. Yeah, it's exciting. Cove stopped picking at his shirt and seemed to respond well to that response. He was relieved you weren't upset about it. I'm glad you think so. But what did we think about it? Wait. Yeah, it's exciting. Cool. But then he looked down and his brows furrowed. You saw his hands shift away from his clothes to instead rub at his arm. Are you looking forward to it? I am.
I mean...
I'm trying to be. He ducked his head further and you saw his face start to redden. And it's scary. What if I mess everything up from here? For us? All these are pretty bad reactions. You're going to do great things. Like, what are these shit responses? You could never ruin what we have. Like, how do you know that? And come on, you don't need to worry. It's like really demeaning for the it's like, I don't know, feels really insensitive way of like just brushing off his worries, you know? And then what is this? Yeah, Papa. Let's say he's gonna do great things. He said nothing, but his eyes meet yours again. But let his eyes meet yours again. Covington turned his head away and wrapped his arms around himself. He felt a sudden chill that definitely wasn't caused by the air conditioner. I promise I'm gonna keep asking this forever, but so much of our lives has been this place with these people. It seems like all of this is about to change. So, are you really sure you want me? Oh, okay, that's kind of cute though. It's a valid question. You remember that night of the Orca fundraiser when you admitted you loved Cove and that you wanted to be with him always? I don't remember that happening, but I guess it was sweet. I seemed so confident about it then, but now you were on brink. His words came out hesitantly. He didn't want to ask this. He didn't want a no.
That's...
I'm not just talking about today, but forever. Oh no. I hate these kind of conversations. Or not these kind of conversations, but like... Man, I'm tired. It's just like... The promises of forever and always and ever and forever and ever, like, please promise me we're together forever, like, that's just not realistic at all. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like these kind of things. I don't like the forever and ever promises. Yeah. Yeah, especially since they're just high schoolers. They're like 18 years old. I'm not just even if things changed later, right now, do you feel we can make it? Or do you think we can't last? That one day we'll have to move on. Who knows? You kept calm. You understood his concern. It was definitely hard to imagine what would happen. However, you didn't let yourself get upset. I want it to be forever. Yes, Cove, no matter what happens, I want to be with you. I think the last one is fine. I'm yours as long as you want. Oh no, I don't know. I guess let's go with the mid one. Like, no matter what happens in the near future, wanna be with you. If it doesn't work out, then, you know, then it doesn't work out. Alright, we were in love with him. There was no way you were going to let this fall down the wayside. Cove laughed, with a delicate smile on his face. Okay, you win. I wanted to prepare myself for the horrifying unknown, but you're kind of giving me no choice but to be optimistic here. Optimism! Hell yeah! His eyes sparkled with mischief. Strong armor. Oh no, I can't believe you're being forced to have hope about life. His lips twitched at your sarcasm.
Right?
How am I gonna get past this? He gave a small smile and then stopped joking around. That was kinda sweet. Thanks for listening to me, Jamie. It helped. He felt pleased that his anxiety had eased after talking it out. Want to go back to the table? I bet everyone's wondering what we've been up to.
Yeah.
I forgot we would. I forgot what we were doing. Yeah, that'd probably be good. Let's go back. With matching smiles, you both reclaimed your seats at the table. Both of you felt lighter, and it showed. You seem happy. What was that? Yeah, it looked like you were having quite a conversation over there. Do we have to have conversations about everything? Can't they just let this be and let the game move on? This summer memory has been so freaking long. It's neighbor stuff, sorry. I used to be your neighbor. He waved off the question and didn't offer any explanations. They still seemed curious, but caught that Cove wanted to stay between the two of you and let it drop. Things relaxed, and you took a sip of your drink. Lee idly tapped the table and got your attention. I'm so excited to try this place. I'm not interested in a fucking small talk about some fucking restaurant. I haven't been here in a long time. I hope it is as good as I remember. All the restaurants in the area are pretty top notch, in my humble opinion. I don't care. It was a challenger suit. Liz carried herself like some sort of professional food critic, and Mom snorted. Tough crowd. Jeez, Liz. She looked scary in that illustration. Mom giggled and chimed in as well, much to Liz's embarrassment. Oh, jeez, Louise. You shook your head at all the silliness. Yes, I want the game to end. Everyone burst out laughing, besides Liz, of course. She smirked. No one could ever accuse your family of being no fun. I can, but I won't. Night fell soon after everyone finished their meals. Before you knew it, you were standing in the parking lot, saying your goodbyes and packing up the cars to go home. After the last of the chores were done, your family spent some more time together. The rest of the night felt like it was going by in a blink of an eye, and somehow the time came to retire to your room to sleep. You pulled your covers up under your chin and settled down for the night, getting warm and cozy. As your head sank into your pillow and you closed your eyes, your mind drifted back to everything that had happened that day. You could see it all now, behind your eyelids, as though you were experiencing it all over again. That sometimes happens, yes. And then the image of Cove popped into your head, and you smiled softly to yourself. Ooh, okay. This is freaking long. I know, this is freaking long. We want the game to end, but we're gonna sneak into his room. If Cove could do it, then you didn't see why you shouldn't be allowed to. You have made up your mind. As quietly as you could manage, you put on your shoes and slipped out of your room, closing the door behind you softly. Heading slowly down, you took care not to make the floor creak, especially the boards right by the bathroom. Those definitely squeaked. The stillness of the night made even the slightest sound seem so much louder to your ears, and you were very aware of your mom sleeping nearby. Upon reaching the bottom, you tiptoed towards the front door. Slipping out into the crisp night air, you shut the door and took a relieving breath. Excitement rising, you dashed across the street towards Cove's house. Hell yeah, finally we get to do exciting stuff. The road too was surreal at this hour, familiar and yet strange. It might have been eerie at another time, but with how eager you were, you hardly cared. You attempted to find your way from the normal footpath to the side of the condo, but the limited light was making it difficult. You knew for sure which window was Cove's, and lucky for you it was on the first floor. Unlike Cove, you wouldn't have to do any building scaling. All you needed to do was make it safely over the fence and past the bushes without getting caught or injured. Sneaking closer, you glanced over the hedges towards Cove's bedroom window, finding it cracked open. Perfect. You wouldn't have to knock and worry about him not answering. Now, this makes me think about Twilight. Is this behavior creepy? It would be, but I think in Cove and main character's case, because this has happened multiple times and it has been with consent. The first times, like I think when Cove first snook in the main character's bedroom, it was like they tapped on the window, like they didn't enter without like what do you call it, permission. And I think of that they have like an agreement, it's fine. So I think it would otherwise be creepy and not good. But because they have, they're used to it. It's fine. I suppose so. I just started to think about like just Twilight, just like Edward going into the room of Bella, like like just no consent, like no, there's been no conversation about it. There's a complete lack of privacy. Hoisting yourself up with ease, you cleared the fence and avoided the shrubs, then darted over to the window. You buzzed with a nervous excitement as you approached in the dark, having successfully made it all the way here unseen. Lifting the window up, it was fully open. You pushed yourself halfway through, your legs dangling into the underbrush below. It was a little awkward, as a small shelf was right in the way. You had to take care not to knock it over a couple of plants, but you made it through with a minimal noise. Once safely inside, you dusted yourself off and turned back to close the window gently, with only the soft glow of moonlight and Cove's fish tank there to see the way. You gave a small wave to the special fish you got to name Sonic Speed. Then straining your eyes through the dark, you crept towards Cove's bed, barely making out the sleeping figure beneath the covers. By the sounds of his soft breathing, you could tell that he hadn't heard you come in, and a small smile tugged at your lips. My throat hurts. We can do this. I mean, it would be fun to just let him sleep, but I think since this is the first time we are doing this, it would be polite to let him know that we're here. We whispered his name. Cove? You figured he must be in a deep sleep as he continued snoozing away. Positioning your lips beside his ear, you tried again. Cove, wake up! This time he sleepily blinked his eyes and mumbled something incoherent beneath his breath. I wanted to come over, is that alright? He let out a yawn and rolled toward you, waking up just enough to understand the question but not the full context. A faint smile appeared on his face. Yeah, I want you here. Reached for you, his arms wrapping around your neck as he pulled you towards him. When your foreheads touched, he gave a satisfied sigh. Then, as if totally unaware of what he had done, he started dozing off again. You snickered quietly to yourself as he sat there. He could figure it out on his own, and after a few more seconds, he did. Wait, Jamie. He shuffled under the covers and sat up to stare at you in alarm.
What?
Why are you in my room? What happened? A smile slipped onto your face as he finally registered your presence. For real. For realsies. I mean, he's startled. I guess it could be potentially romantic to pull him in for a kiss. So we could say I didn't want to be alone, for example. He frowned, his eyebrows pinching together in concern.
Are you okay?
Putting a hand on his shoulder, he locked eyes with you. Yeah, I'm feeling better. He sat back a little, giving a fond smile. I should have known you'd do this one of these days. It's only fair. You let out a breath, feeling relieved that he didn't seem bothered by it. In fact, it felt kind of good. You thought maybe this enthusiasm was why Cope did it so often. Pushed himself up fully, swinging his legs over the side of the bed and leaving a spot for you beside him. His hands shook where he held them in his lap. Oh, he was nervous. You can stay as long as you want. Really? Can I stay the whole night?
Of course.
He smiled, feeling relieved that he had agreed, and he grinned back. You could always count on him. I've secretly slept over in your room before. It's fair you get to do it too. Oh, right, he has totally done that. Right, he has totally done that. It's kinda odd, but it's like, it's fine, it's a video game. It's like this part of my nail I tried to bit off. I think it came off. That's good. There we go. So we snickered, feeling pleased with our decision to do this, because we are a plural. Well, looks like you might be getting the floor yet again. Okay, there's no way I'm letting you take the floor this time. Let's go with that one. Here we go again. You snickered, feeling pleased with your decision to do this. Wait, why did we go back? You rolled your eyes and let out a soft laugh, which Cove returned as he rubbed at the back of his neck. We should just share the bed.
I mean...
That mouth is kinda cute. I mean, yeah, I guess we could do that. Nothing is stopping us. I can't sleep like that, but the bed does seem kinda wide. My question is like, what is going up? Is it like a bunk bed, or what is up with the upper part, like the loft? Is that just storage space, or is this supposed to be like some unequal bunk bed where the lower person, like the lower person, where the other person gets like a wide bed and the other one gets like a narrower? Holding back your amusement, you tried not to grin at his bashfulness. He obviously hadn't thought it through completely, but at least he was up for it. We're gonna share the bed. You could hear the tremble in Cove's voice as he held his hands together to keep them from shaking. Actually, maybe not. He looks so much better without the eyeglasses, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I think certain kind of glasses work, like certain frames, but I'm in general not like the biggest fan of the glasses Cove has been wearing. Yeah, eyebrows rose at how quickly he changed his mind, but when you saw how serious he was, you let out a sigh. I'm sorry. I'll do it. I can do it. I want to do it. I just need a second. We are glad he was making the effort. It was an important step in the relationship, and he seemed to understand that. It only took a couple of we have slept in the same bed before though, haven't we? So I don't understand what the big deal is. Okay, I mean, I guess it's a little different now. The situation has changed. The context has changed. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It only took a couple of moments longer before he turned to you, attempting a weak smile. Ready? Yes, let's get in there. They're so awkward. He took another deep breath. and he slipped under the covers, making room for him to get in after you. Laying as straight as a steel rod, Cove tensed up beside you, so still he was barely breathing at all. You rested on your side and faced him, your eyebrows pinched in the middle as you watched him. He looked back at you deeply. Jamie! All of a sudden he started trembling and shaking more than ever, and then he scrambled out of the bed. Did he come? You pulled it upright, leaning back on your hands as you stared at him in shock. Are you alright? Yeah, I'll be back. I just need some more time. He totally just came. He ran a hand through his hair in exasperation, paced around the room, breathing heavily. You were worried for him, but completely at a loss for what to do. As though he could read your mind, he spoke again.
Don't worry about it.
He assured you between heavy gasping breath. He assured you between heavy gasping breaths, but you were having trouble believing him when he bent over with his hands on his knees. Like he had just run a marathon. You were even more concerned. This isn't a problem, just a process. He held up a hand to reassure you, and with nothing left to do, you sank back down into the bed and let him have the space he obviously needed. Okay, take all the time you need. And it did take some time for him to finish working out his nerves, energy, and steady his breathing to an even rhythm. But eventually he collected himself enough to relax. You tentatively glanced over at him, watching as he let out one last deep sigh before turning back to you. Can I come back still? Of course. You smiled reassuringly and shuffled over to make space for him. Oh, this is... It's like, it's in a way adorable. It's awkward. It's really weird. It's weird. These two guys are weird. This whole situation is so odd. He immediately perked up as he slipped back into the bed beside you, though he was still careful not to get too close. Thank you for waiting, again, as always. He laughed shyly, his soft eyes meeting yours through the dim light.
Are you okay?
I am. Now that you are, I think that's a romantic answer. He let out a deep breath, relief written on his face. Yeah, I am. He shuffled closer an inch at a time and nuzzled his chin against the top of your head, wrapping his arms around your sides. You wrapped your arms around him. That's sweet enough. Your fingers gently brushed up and down at his back as you held him close. The room grew quiet around you. The only sounds to be heard were the faraway crash of the ocean waves and your breath mingling in the small space between you. Cove's heart was pounding, the thump of it rumbling through you as he spoke again softly.
That's
hydration time. Actually, I should take my supplements, my iron supplements, and D-vitamin. Wait a moment. I've been neglecting this for a few days. I'm trying to be good at it, but it's hard. It's hard to be good at remembering to take your supplements, right? Let me do that. Whoop. Ah. Oh, water goes everywhere. There we go. You know, I'm not scared of you, right? It's just so many other things that scare me. I'm afraid of what if hypotheticals that aren't actually real, but I think about anyway, and of nebulous concepts of what things mean that I can barely explain even to myself. I'm scared of my own feelings and how much I feel them. Aww, and I'm afraid, because tomorrow things will be different between us, but I'll be alone again. What do you mean by that, Cove? You won't be alone again? And why will things be different tomorrow? Are they gonna fuck? I don't think so. Hello, Bonnie. Welcome to the stream. We just snuck into. I think it's sneaked. Sneak. Taivutus. Conjugation. Sneaked, snuck. We have just sneaked into Cove's room for the first time ever as a revenge for Cove always coming to our room, and now they are attempting to sleep in the same bed, but Cove just like came or something, had a huge boner, had to collect himself. But now we're trying again. They both laid on the set themselves on the bed, sneak that shirt into the bin. You don't like this shirt? You think this shirt is horrible? Now they're trying to cuddle again. He held on to you tighter, his breath stuttering ever so slightly. It's normal right now to see you during the day and part ways at night. Except for special exceptions. A little laugh escaped him before his tone became serious once more. Oh, Shrimp. It's easier to stay where I am than it is to make myself move. To not take a risk and not knowing what I might be missing, but... He hesitated and he reached up to brush a few strands of hair from his face gently, his eyes slowly fixing on yours. When did doing the easy thing get so hard? When it comes to you, I don't know how to stay still. I want to keep taking steps forward. Are they gonna fuck? I don't know. You know, on my previous run of the game, we did not get to fuck, because I think the game is safe for work. But we have been taking a very different direction during the stream playthrough. We have been very aggressively in love with Cove this whole time, right? Maybe there is a secret ending where we get to see them fuck. Who knows? We'll see. Honestly, when I see your face or even imagine it, I want to start sprinting. Who's gonna get the pomegranate? 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 Do you mean pomegranate? Is that how you write it in English? Wait. Isn't it pomegranate? When I try, I hit a wall. Preganinate. Preganinante. They're gonna get preganinante. So stupid. I love watching those videos where people like read how people have written pregnant. Myself, for a long time, I for some reason thought pregnant was pregnant. And then someone pointed it out. And I was like, what do you mean? And I had been living a lie for many years saying pregnant, or something like that, right? I don't know. I don't know why I did that, but I have joined the gang of misspellers. Or not, I know how to spell it, but I don't know apparently how to pronounce it. Yeah, but now I know. Nowadays I'm pro at pregnant. It's just Cove says, it's just like I physically can't do it on one side of my mind. There's something blocking me. And then on the other side, I absolutely can't stop myself from doing it. It never ends well. Doing what, Cove? Spell it. Speak it out loud. Just use preggers. Preggers.
I'm always like this.
I hate it. It's... God, it's the most frustrating thing. Why do I do it every time? I'm annoyed with the way I am, so I have no idea how to stand it. I suppose Cove belongs to the people who join No Not November. Cove is frustrated. He's gonna try No Not November. I feel like it. I'm sorry I act so split when it comes to romantic things. I do not want you to think you're rushing me when I know I'm getting mixed signals. And I don't want to miss out on being happy, but being like this, but sometimes I still can't help it. So basically what I'm trying to say is that I'm glad you've never given up on me. It means a lot. It means everything to me. It would be kind of vain kind of love if not getting to fuck tonight would be like the deal breaker for main character. And main character want non-stop, but what? But an MC want non-stop, not November. So always tries to ruin Cove's efforts. Yes, just non-stop, not November. How has your day, by the way? How has your week been? How's your day been? I forgot to ask that. I voted today. We have like regional elections. So I was a good citizen and I voted. I got myself a new mouse. I cycled. I'm streaming. I'm thriving. I made myself food. I'll have theater practice in the evening. It's been a really productive day. Yeah, my good like how do I say, my good times are still going. I'm curious to see when I get down into the like, you know, the depression again, and that happens again. Maybe it's in a month, maybe it's in a week, maybe it's in 3 months, who knows. But right now I'm vibing a good period. It's good. It's all good. Yeah, we got federal elections too soon and it sucks. Is there no good candidates, or is it looking bad? Like the situation of like if there's like estimates on how it's gonna turn out. Yeah, we were talking like one of my friends lives in a different city, which has its own like area or its own elections. We compared our how do you call it? The people, the representative. No, that's not the word. Let me see. How do you call it? I know the word, but it doesn't come to my mind. What is it even in Finnish? Ehdokas. Candidates. The candidates are very different between the cities we live in. But for me, I got pretty banger options because Helsinki has pretty cool people living here. So hell yeah. Anyway, not to get into politics, we are here nothing. You've been there whenever I've really needed it. It's who you are and I accept you. You smiled in understanding. Let's smile in understanding because main character really wants a non-stop, not November. His eyes closed over a little as he squeezed you closer to him and smiled, his heart rate finally relaxing to a normal rhythm.
Good night.
Jamie. He leaned forward and kissed you tenderly, his hand gently moving to cradle the back of your head.
I love you.
Oh man. I love you too. You were still smiling as you snuggled into him, getting as close as you could. Cocooned in his warmth, you easily grew comfortable next to him, feeling him ease into you as well. Before long, your eyes were growing heavy. Glowing. Yeah, our eyes just casually start to glow. You drift off into a restful sleep side by side. Now I need to Google this. Do y'all sleep? Can y'all sleep touching another person? It's like, because I don't understand people who can sleep well through the night cuddling. Because I don't know, I can't do it. I would have to be drunk. I would have to be intoxicated, maybe, or like extremely tired, and extremely comfortable. Like I would have to be wearing like an hoodie, like there would be a shit ton of fabric between us to maybe be able to sleep while cuddling someone. But I know, like, at least like one of my friends, like two of my friends who are together, I know they cuddle like aggressively when they go to sleep. I can't, it's always too warm. I end up just migrating to the floor. Yeah, it's too warm and you feel stuck. Your limbs go numb. It's uncomfortable and you're conscious of the other person all the time. And I like to sleep in very specific kind of positions, or like fall asleep in specific positions, and that does not function if there's another body next to me. I need the space. Like one like position I like to go to sleep in is like fetus position, and then the other one is like spreading my arms while on my back in a way with one of my legs turned weird. Like I could sleep with a person in the same bed if the bed was like, I don't know, is king sized a big bed? Is this how you call it in English? King sized size in centimeters. 107 times 203 centimeters. I guess king size is not that. I guess there's two king sizes, at least queen sized bed, 153 centimeters wide. Like maybe then, because then we could go to opposite corners or opposite sides of the bed. Beetle and Snow Angel. What is that? Is Snow Angel position? I will be seeing a sex position, won't I? I will be. What the fuck is this? I have never seen such a thing. How does this generate pleasure? I will not be showing you angel position. Sleeping, let's add that word there so we'll see. Okay, I guess it's not an official kind of thing, but yeah, kind of like a snow angel. Yeah. Let's see, if I opened a secret anonymous tab on Chrome and Google sleeping positions chart, we can then discuss about sleeping positions. I don't think it's dirty. Snow angel is a thing you do in snow. I know it is. Yeah, we do snow angels a lot in Finland. But like when I googled snow angel position, it showed sexual positions. Which I do not know. Maybe I can show it. Maybe it's fine if I show it. I don't know. I know it's not probably fine. I won't show that. You can Google it yourself. But we can see sleeping positions charts together to discuss the best sleeping position. So here, I don't like hugging pillows. I like the number 4. Oh, I never knew Snow Angel was a 6 position, lol, cute. Okay, I think it's fine because they are like drawn illustrations. Snow Angel position. We can do this really quick. How does this can you see it next to my face? How does this like generate anything? How does this work? How is this position supposed to like work? I guess it can. I don't know. Maybe I should test it out. I'll test it out. I'll test it out and give a review. Anyway, actual sleeping positions. Some kind of new human centipede. I have a friend who sleeps in a position 10, I think. Like, I think I have a friend who sleeps like number 10. And that is bizarre. I think if I think about like my success rate of falling asleep, 4 is absolutely like very good. Like that is just like excellent. But this does not cover my favorite sleeping position, okay? It's like kind of like 7, but the other hand would not be also up. Well, maybe it, I don't know. 7 is kind of one of the sleeping positions I can sleep in. There have been few moments in my life where I have, okay, the number 16 is a kind of like a meme pose, but I can tell you I have fallen asleep in 16 with my hands on my stomach. That's pretty weird. And I also slept the whole night in that position, waking up with my hands on my stomach, which is really odd. Sleep on your face, I wake up covered in drool. Oh no, I have woken up with like drool. I think everyone has at some point. With like drool on your cheek, you know. I don't know, man. We should test it out. Let's both go to sleep in number 13 tonight. Just like test it out. The thing is, like, I have multiple pillows too. Which one should I hug? I don't know. Are there other charts? I think the drama queen position. Yeah, I think it's kind of close because I have like 6 pillows, so I do end up sometimes looking kind of like this. Yeah. Are other sleeping positions besides these ones? Is there anything new here? Why would you want a pillow under your, like, why would you want that? C is kind of funny. C is kind of funny. There's no original positions left. Starfish. I guess no, I don't do starfish. I have like sometimes I have like one leg straight, and then the other one like this, and then one hand like this, and my head leaning against it, while the other one is more openly in more open angle, I guess. Really difficult to explain these things. I also sometimes sleep in this position. It sometimes happens when I'm drunk, or sometimes when I'm very restless. What is happening with this one? I don't know. Climbing the side of the bed? Time to break out Emma's paint. Perhaps. This look kind of funny. This looks silly though. Like for example, this position looks like some kind of dance or swing movement. I don't know. I also like that only 4 of these sleeping positions have like how do you call it? What do you call it? Blanket, and everyone else just sleeps without it. For me, even if it's really like hot outside, even if it's like boiling hot outside, like really hot, I can't sleep without having some kind of blanket. And I just love thick blankets, so summers are horrible. I sleep always really ill if I only have like the sheet or whatever, like sheets under which to sleep in, because like it doesn't have the same feeling of being like covered and having snuggled, you know. It's not good. Anyway, I think this was a great conversation. We can continue with the game. It's too hot, just have your feet uncovered, keep cool. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's the next day. It's the next morning. We wake up slowly from a comfortable dream. With a small stretch, you open your eyes fully to the sun shining in through the window. Shuffling to your side, you notice Cove still beside you in bed, sleeping soundly. His arms continue to be draped around you as loosely as he snoozed. You must have fallen asleep that way. Oh, his arms must be so numb. Hello, Jeffers. Welcome to the stream. I am doing excellent today. I've been productive. I have been having a good streak. How about you? How has life been? How has this week been? Anything exciting? Just normal? Something bad has happened? I don't know. Tell us about it. We have just woken up, snuggling with our boyfie. She smiled, remembering the prior night. It had been nice to spend the night together, getting to be with him in a whole different way. The thing is, they have been snuggling, sleeping in the same bed in the past. It's not the first time. You could definitely get used to it. Also, yesterday I'm officially classified as ancient by teenagers. Nowadays I'm 20 now. Congratulations! Happy late birthday. I don't know. Wishing you happy birthday late. And now in Finland you would be able to buy extra strong alcohol. Yay. In Finland you can start buying alcohol at the age of 18, but if it's above 21% alcohol, then you have to wait until you're 20. I don't know why that is. Happy belated birthday, yes, happy belated birthday. That could be, it could be kind of cute to stroke his cheek gently. Let's do that. Thank you too, you're welcome. His skin was soft to the touch as you brushed your fingers over the side of his face. He stared a little in response, a small, sleepy smile curving his lips. Then a loud noise suddenly startled you, and you snapped towards the source of the sound. Not the dad coming to the room. It was the door opening abruptly. Also, I hate this background music. I hate this track. Let's save the game, by the way. And then let's go to configuration. On shrimp. I'll say one thing I didn't expect a romance game or what? Am I not totally the kind of person to play romance games? Don't I just like give the aura of a romantic person? Don't I give the aura of a true, I don't know, visual novel romance gamey, romance but I don't have vocabulary for this. There's snuggly, the bashful, the giggly, love you trope kind of game stuff. I don't know. I need to play more of this so I can get better at this, at describing these games. Get your butt out of bed, sport. Mom's here. Oh. All of a sudden, the two of you made eye contact and he froze where he stood, the smile slowly slipping from his face. That's not what I usually walk into. I clearly should have knocked this morning. I think you should always knock when you go to someone's room, like any age. You seem like that toy that reads BL manga. Fuck off. Shut the fuck up. In my defense, I don't have defenses against that. That's what is it with parents and doing that? Exactly. I think with any age, with any person, you should always knock. You know? You shouldn't surprise people. I think it's rude. I don't understand people who keep their doors open either. I think I've been to a few friends' places where I closed the door and they were surprised by it. Like I went to my friend's room and I closed the door behind us. And then they were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm obviously shutting the door because we are using this room and we want to be like alone, right? And then, you know, noise reduction so we don't bother other people either. Walking in your kid gooning to pregnant Sonic nightmare fuel. I've seen that. Isn't it like a fucking video? Isn't it a fucking video? I've seen it. I don't remember where. Where did I see it? Walking in kid Sonic. Oh no, what the heck? Oh no. This reminds me, this unlocks a memory, a hazy memory from video. This is why I lock my door, because my mom keeps opening the door every time it was unlocked. I was so, when I still lived with people, meaning my mother and my brother. Oh, this was such a long time ago. But I remember I was so agitated about like them not respecting the privacy of my own room. I actually was like looking into how much it would cost to like get a lock on the door. I was really like, I was so ready to do it without permission, just getting a lock there installed into the room. So happy I moved out at the age of 15 back then. That's gonna forever be burned into your search history. It is. It is. There's a lot of things that have been burned into my search history, believe it or not. I know. I do give off the very like very I don't know, the kind of like a innocent, very vanilla person. I don't even know what vanilla means in the context. I've heard people use vanilla to describe romantic or even sexual context, but I would never know what that would mean because I totally stay out of that kind of content, right? My search history is completely about, I don't know, sea slugs and Pathfinder nerding shit. As long as you can delete your browser history before you die, it's all good. There is a problem to this because I have half promised to my friend that she would get she could get my search history as like if I die before her, she can get my search history. But I have been deleting it since this promise from time to time, so I guess I have not been like keeping that promise. So I don't think I need to even keep that promise, you know? One of my only friends who don't use they them pronouns, I just realized, when was the last time I ever like used she her of any of my friends? I don't have she her friends. It's been so funny, like throughout the years, like one by one my friends have just come out as non-binary, and it's fun. It's jolly. Anyway, wait, does this? Oh, if I scroll with my mouse, the game goes back. I didn't know this game had that kind of thing, like that kind of controls. Anyway, really rude for the dad to just come into the room. Really, really fucking rude. Let's good morning, Mr. Holden. Let's be polite about it. Morning, Jamie. Cole blinked his eyes tiredly and mumbled something incoherent before turning towards the door. Both you and Mr. Holden stared at him for a few moments, neither knowing what to say or do. Cove, who continued looking at his dad dozily, was obviously having a hard time trying to process the situation. Then his eyes widened. Dad! Cove scrambled on the bed in an attempt to get to his feet, pushing the covers back off of the both of you. Forgetting there was an overhanging ceiling above him, he shot upwards and hit his head on the wood. He flopped back down on his pillow, pressing a hand to his head and groaning loudly. You laughed at the scene. Let's take it easy. I don't think most games like this have it unless DDLC has something like it. Doki Doki Literature Club. After this game, should we always have like a running should we always have like one game that's visual novel we are playing? Like after Lara Life, should I play Doki Doki Literature Club? Should I do that? How long is that game? It would be nice to play a little shorter visual novel after this, you know? Let's see. Doki Doki Literature Club. Now it says the main story is 4 hours and main plus size is 6. But we are streaming this. So maybe 7.5 hours is like an optimistic estimate of how long it would take. I mean, sure, go ahead. And every visual novel you play gets more and more 18 plus until YouTube bans you. Oh, we could just then continue from here to what was it called? Oni Onsen? There was like this demo thing going on Steam a few months ago, and I just for funsies added to my library a few demos. I wonder what it was called. Onsen something. Let's see. Let's add LGBT for the tag. Oh, we could play Femboy Simulator. Wouldn't that be fun? Have I deleted? Why is it not in my library? What is this? Does it not exist anymore? There was this Oni Onsen thing, which was unhinged. Oni Onsen, yes. I think we could then go there. Isn't like overly. It has its scenes. If you go and check it out on Steam, it has its moments. It could be like the next step, and then we could continue from there to the Femboy Simulator. I have wanted to check it out. No, it's not Femboy Simulator. It's something Femboy. My Femboy roommate. My Femboy roommate. A special weekend? Yes. This are also haunted by Femboy. What the fuck? What is this? Is this something I really want to explore? No. That sounds like a not safe for work game. I regret that I know the Femboy Simulator. Oh boy. Maybe it would not be possible to play this on stream. We can try it. It could be fun to test it out. But if it's impossible, then I just organize a gaming night with my friends and we'll just have fun together playing the fanboy games. Mission: bust in that pussy. You shouldn't stream it. That game is extremely not safe for work. You'll almost certainly get demonetized and banned. I'm not even monetized. We don't have to worry about that one. I'm never gonna get monetized. That's not a concern. And being banned and having the channel removed and all that shit would be bothersome. I mean, Oni Onsen has a streaming mode where all the illustrations are just black. So like they're just removed, all the like illustrations. I have played like I think I have 3 hours of playtime in the demo of the game because I wanted to check it out on stream. Then I had problems with streaming, so I had to go for a hiatus for technical reasons. So I ended up playing. I was supposed to play it on stream, and then I was like, okay, I'll just test the demo on my own. Why is it not in my library? Have I removed it from my library? I am proud owner of Oni Onsen in my library, okay? I have no problem with having it in there, you know? Yes, I have 92 minutes of playtime. I have amazing 92 minutes of playtime in Oni Onsen demo game. Okay, should we continue with the safe for work one? So we laughed at the scene. You couldn't help the sound from breaking out, though when Cove shot you an unappreciative look, you clamped your mouth shut. It was the second time that sharing a space with him had resulted in hitting his head. My question is also like, aren't Cove and main character 18-year-old now? 18 years old? Like, why would they have to be concerned about their parents' opinions on their like how they spent their time? I'm gonna have to clean the ceiling. No, but sometimes you do. I mean, sometimes you might have to. Sometimes you do have to clean the ceiling, depending on the circumstances. It was the second time that sharing a space with him had resulted. Yeah. Somehow that made it even funnier. Cove bud, are you alright over here? Over there? Mr. Holden stepped further into the room, his eyebrows furrowed in concern, and he bent down towards his son.
Yes.
Please just go. Okay, I'll leave. Cliff held his hands in front of him in a calming gesture, even though Cove couldn't see it. He turned to make his exit, but stopped abruptly in the doorway, obviously deciding he had something more to say. I know we've talked about this before, but I feel like now is one of those times to mention that I was barely older than you when I found out I was gonna be a daddy, so just if there's anything you need to say or ask about, we're not having kids. What is this? What is this conversation? What is this conversation, and why did he have to use the word daddy? That is really uncomfortable. That is incredibly uncomfortable. I was barely older than you when I found out I was gonna be a daddy. Oh, he's been a daddy. He's been a daddy since he was barely an adult. Why is this so common? I've seen so many times. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna have to worry about that, Mr. Holden. Well, you don't know. We never know. We don't know what's canon in this universe we are playing in. Okay, anyway. What was he saying about age things? I know I was just only saying that at that age things can move fast, and he let out a heavy sigh, running a hand over his face before stopping himself and saying calmly, "You know what? It's fine. We'll chat about this later. Kyra's waiting." With that, he stepped back out of the room, giving the two of you one last look before pulling the door shut behind him. Cove rubbed at his face before dropping his head into his hands and mumbling between his fingers.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. You patted him on the leg. Dude thinks this is a not safe for work game. The game approaches the topic, but it never crosses a line. I've come to that conclusion. It's alright, things like this happen. With a heavy sigh, Cove forced himself to sit up again. He frowned hard, staring over at the closed door. Let's put the music a little high now that it's not that annoying, maybe? Sorry. What my dad said, that was really, really dumb. It wasn't something he should have brought up. I think everyone here is overreacting. It's not that serious. We can move on. You knew which comment meant. The one about how Mr. Holden had gotten Kyra pregnant by mistake. That wasn't something that would happen with you and Cove being together. What? I just read it without actually thinking what I just read. Yeah, that wasn't something. Yeah, exactly. We would not make a mistake. I think he was just trying to show how serious spending the night is in general. He wasn't trying to compare us with him. Yeah, you shrugged it off. You're right, he didn't think us getting pregnant was the real serious thing that could happen. It was one example. Yeah. You both simultaneously released a deep breath. I guess we can't just hide in here now. He gave you a sidelong glance, and despite his displeasure at the situation, a small smile quirked his lips.
It's nice.
It's too bad. It had been really nice. Too bad is right. I hope we'll get the chance to do this again soon. I mean, Cove is soon moving into his own apartment, so it's gonna be fine. Imagine like 3 streams later it takes a turn to a not safe for work game. Oh, no! No! I don't... No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I think, if I'm correct about this, we are still doing a summer memory kind of thing. This has been a fucking long memory, I gotta say. It's been incredibly long. This is still the same sequence of them going to Nevada. They've gone to Nevada, they've gone to eat at a Chinese restaurant, and now they're having a sleepover in the same summer memory? What is that about? Unless this is like the ending of the summer sequence, but I don't think it is. MC just goes all yaoi hands. I want a game about yaoi hands. I want a game where all the characters are just yaoi hands. I don't know. That would be funny. Can this end? The two of you took a few minutes to get up properly and get yourselves as ready as possible. Cole put his glasses back on before heading out to see Kyra. Oh, she's so bright. Man. Kyra was waiting patiently in the living room. She was in high spirits, with her eyes set on the hallway. Her amused smile only widened when you and Cove froze. It didn't take long for the realization to sink that the scene must have been loud enough for her to hear even from here. Cove tried to look unimpressed, eyes narrowing, over Kyra's smug delight, though his face was already turning red and his mom hadn't even said anything yet. He squared his shoulders, lifted his head and strode forward.
Hey.
Mom. Hi, baby. And hello to you too, Jamie. Her tone cracked in her greeting, and then she just gave in and laughed, unable to keep any of it in. Ko frowned at that, and his eyebrows furrowed. Sorry for the interruption. I didn't know you already had guests. So fun. His frown wobbled as he became even more embarrassed by this moment. He couldn't muster up any words to defend himself. Yeah. Well, it's not like anyone's surprised by this. Kyra laughed even harder this time. As it slowed, she brought a hand up to cover her mouth, but you both could still see her shoulders shake. It's not that funny though. Like, what is fun about this situation? Like, of course we can giggle about it a little bit, but like, that's all. Like, it's not that funny. It's not that good of a joke. They didn't even do anything. I don't know. Anyway, Ko was mortified. Ko was unable to say anything other than his teeth biting into the inside of his cheek. He stood there frozen. Kyra studied you both for a moment.
It's alright.
My not-so-little mister is spreading his wings. Oh, that's so... that's a cringy thing to say, though. I can't complain about that, nah. She slightly tapped the tip of his nose. That got a tiny smile out of Ko, despite being much taller than Kyra at this point. It's not that much. They're like maybe 3 centimeters apart. He still seemed like a little kid in front of her. You released the air you were holding in your lungs. What air? I have not been holding any air in my lungs. My lungs are empty. Like the shirt, it's come full circle. No! 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 All parents are cringe when trying to say something romantic when it comes to their kids' love lives. Yeah. I will forever remember. There was like, I think it's called... Let me get it right, so I don't describe it wrong. There is a day we celebrate in Finland, maybe in Europe. I don't know. Is this a thing in US, in Australia? It doesn't have an English. It doesn't have an English Wikipedia page. That's concerning. Let's see, dictionary. May Day. May Day. Well, that's not quite right. It's like Workers' Day. Day of Workers. It's like celebrate, like in Finland, it's a celebration day of workers and people who have graduated high school. And in Finland, when you graduate high school, you get like this white hat, and you wear it that one day of the year. And it's like everyone just gets really drunk. Everyone goes to parks and gets shit-faced, you know? That's basically the like the thing. And I remember when I was maybe, how old could I have been? Maybe 14, possibly. Yeah, 14, I'd say, because I still hadn't moved into my own apartment. And I was spending the afternoon at my father's place, and then told him like, I'm gonna go check on my friend. She's drunk and she has used some kind of drug she doesn't know about, so I'm gonna check she's okay. And before I was leaving, he was like, oh wait. And then from his pocket, he gives me a condom. And from another pocket, he gives me €5. And then he pats me on the shoulder. And then I get going. And I'm like, I was having such a good laugh about it, and I still do. I think that's a thing in the USA without the drunk part. We were doing that all throughout high school. Getting shit-faced and using drugs you don't really know the specifics about. Yeah. Well, anyway, I think when I think about like, that's awesome. It was awesome. Like when I think about these kind of conversations I've had with my parents, or with my parent, my father, that was one of the older conversations. Like, I don't know. I think he knows that I educate myself enough for not to need any kind of conversation, you know. Like he trusts me. I think he has trusted me since then. I mean, we never had a conversation about anything. It just gives me €5 and a condom. I guess he thought I could buy myself someone with my €5. I mean, you know, I don't fucking know. It's so fucking funny. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's move on. Kyra, you know, we're just about to go over to see Pam and Noel. Are you two coming? I'll go. He stretched his arms for a moment and yawned, trying to physically shake off what happened.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Great.
It was then that you noticed Mr. Holden standing on the other side of the room. You figured out he must have been trying to create some space for everyone during that last conversation. You could tell he felt a bit awkward, but he tried smiling reassuringly as he scratched the back of his neck. His attention went to Cove. Bud, you wanna get changed first? Cove looked down at his pajamas for a moment. He shook his head. No, we don't have to wait. What? Okay. Are you sure?
Don't worry about it.
He says Jamie is going in pajamas too. It's awkward and weird. It's fine. Cove could have just lended clothes. I don't know. Cove then leaned in closer to you. He grumbled quietly. And your moms are gonna figure out what happened anyway, so... yeah. This is odd. I'm not used to this kind of family dynamic this game tries to portray. It's so odd. I know it's like supposed to be healthy and sweet and comfortable and all that shit, but it's odd to me. It's odd. The four of you headed out across the street to your house. It felt strange waiting there while Mr. Holden knocked on the door.
Hello.
There. Mom answered the door and her expression brightened even more, seeing Kyra there. She moved to pull Kyra into a hug, then her gaze fell on you. Jamie? Hi, Mom.
Huh?
When did you get out there? Were you still in your pajamas? My mom would have just been like, have fun and don't get anyone pregnant, then never bring it up again. Yeah. Yeah. When I was 15 and moved into my own apartment, I remember my father saying like, because the apartment was in the same apartment building as my father's apartment. Oh, my father's and his partner. I just remember him saying like, I don't care what kind of sex cave you're gonna hold here. I was like, cool. He was like, you know, you're gonna live your own life. And I was like, thanks, mate. I'm gonna be so wild. I have such a wild sex life. You can't even imagine. Oh my god. It's I suppose it's not the usual kind of approach. Thanks, Daddy. Exactly. Thanks, Daddy. I'm gonna have such a great sex cave here, like a red room from 50 Shades of Grey. That is my apartment, just a red room, nothing else. Anyway. Meanwhile, you and Cope shared a slow side glance with each other. Before you could answer, more heads popped into view around the doorway. Ma, Liz and Lee were all chuckling. To be honest, I always assumed Cove had been the one sneaking around. Her eyes sparkled with amusement, and you had to look away. You noticed Cove's face was burning red again. It was a solid theory. Lani, most likely they've been breaking and entering. I wouldn't put it past my baby. He takes after his parents. You're right, I can't believe my Jamie has been getting up to all that mischief too. Mortified Cove looked like he wanted to disappear while the adults chuckled and discussed what you and him may or may not have done. Fortunately, they left the conversation there. I've always found it uncomfortable when parents tease about their kids' things, even though the kids seem like visibly embarrassed, because that is one that can lead to one kind of maybe even trauma in some extent if you're constantly being like teased and put into embarrassing situations, even though it's done lovingly sometimes. But I've always felt it's a little unnecessary how people talk over kids about them as if they weren't there, and even share very embarrassing and very private stories about them too. Like I've been in a car listening to like adults talking about their kids' things without any concern about like respecting their boundaries or privacy. Like, maybe my child would not want this to be shared, and especially in this light, I'm making it a joke right now, you know? Anyway, it ended, and Love was standing around out there. Come on in. Mom moved aside to usher the group in and guided them to the living room. Before anyone could get settled in, Mom spoke up. You're all welcome to stay for breakfast. We still have some great spices and stuff from the farmer's market. There's a really uncomfortable video that always bothers me when I watch it, and it's pretty much this. When you say pretty much this, I suppose there's gonna be an explanation, or then like the video details.
Of course.
Yes, we'd be thrilled to host you. There were eager nods from Mr. Holden and Kyra, but Cove looked around the room filled with familiar faces before speaking up. Maybe instead of staying here, why don't we go to the beach? A scenic picnic, eh? Okay, I think, if I'm not completely wrong, this episode ends with the beach, and then we're done with this sequence. I think that's how it's gonna end up. Okay. And let's save the game, by the way. We haven't saved in a while. Luke's Who's Came Out of Their Room by Donk TK. Came out of their room, Donk TK. Look who finally came out of their room. An animation? 4.5 million views. Is this gonna be another one of those streams where I will have to cut this out afterwards? Might possibly be. Should we still watch it together? It's 1 minute and 15 seconds. It's very Australian. Should we watch this? I'm gonna put the game audio low, and then I'm gonna go put my desktop audio up. Hell yeah! And now we are gonna watch it. Except it's muted.
Oh, well, it looks like our little gamer's finally decided to leave his room. We thought you might have gone extinct.
Yeah, welcome back to the real world, kiddo. Hey, don't worry, no zombies or creepers out here, are there?
Oh no.
The gremlin finally decides to emerge from his cave, huh? Yeah,
No.
big ugly gremlin.
Yeah, the fat, putrid ogre who
Oh
amounted to
no.
nothing in his life.
No. Oh no.
Do something with your life for once.
You're a loser, you know that? You'll
We're
never
all
amount to
Fuck
anything.
you.
When will you do anything in your life?
You are nothing.
Get out, you!
Get out of my house!
Get out! Get out of my house! Get out of my house! He's such a nice boy.
He's such a nice boy. I just wish he'd socialise more.
Ah, man. I haven't been in completely this kind of situation, but like, of course, that's also an exaggeration to some extent, probably in most cases. Maybe there's some people who actually had exactly that kind of situation in their life. Sounds really uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't understand people. So many people are just like really uncomfortable. extremely uncomfortable. Yeah. I remember like if there was any kind of like family party, family event when I was a kid, I always just retreated into my room. I was unable to cope with all the people there. Like I've avoided all family dinners from like and all family events from my mother's side for many years. It's better that way, but I remember as a kid, it's also like I was just overwhelmed with people coming into our home. Like suddenly the place that's supposed to be a home becomes like this social event ground and all these people come in there and it's all these stupid conversations, like very plain. Everyone pretends. There's awkward silences because no one can like be real with each other. It's so exhausting. So I just went to my room, gave no shit about it. Like I didn't want to be there. Yeah. Now there's this summer there's gonna be like a wedding. And I thought like maybe I could go there. Maybe it would be a polite thing to do. Rapid interactions, yeah. Rapid, but did you mean rapid or vapid? Is vapid a word? Vapid. What does that mean? Oh, yes, vapid. Such a great word. That's a great word. I never heard it before. Vapid. Interesting. That's a good word. I'll be using it from now on. Yeah. It's horrible. Then one aspect I didn't think about the wedding was that, oh, they're probably gonna hold semi-formal wedding. It's my uncle. My uncle is a chill person, and to become wife is a very chill person. I'm gonna probably just send him a message and ask about it, but I know, you know, there is a chance that they would be relaxed about the dress code, but I know there is also a big chance that there's gonna be a dress code, and I don't own fancy clothes. It's just, I get so much gender dysphoria about all clothes that are like... Now I was thinking like maybe I could try like some kind of outfit, but like all clothes, all formal like clothes just like feel wrong and look wrong and they make me really uncomfortable. Is that like a wedding rehearsal? What is wedding rehearsal? A pre-wedding No, it's I don't know if we don't have rehearsal dinners, wedding rehearsals in Finland, do we? How Finnish weddings usually are is it starts if a person is religious. Traditional wedding starts in the church, so everyone gathers in the church and the event starts with them saying the I do's, you know, put the ring on. And then everyone moves to a site. It's usually like a rented area somewhere else. Everyone drives there or cycles there or comes there. And then they will have party. There will be food. Usually it's like, I think it's often buffet. I might be wrong about this. I haven't been to too many weddings, but this is like my idea of it, my impressions based on conversations and the few weddings I've been to. So there will be food. There will be, of course, speeches in a very Western style. There's gonna be dance, and then like the rest of the night, the later night, then it's gonna be like drinking and dancing and partying. I think that's pretty usual Western style wedding. Never mind, you meant semi-formal as in dressed up. Yeah, I meant that, yeah. like if it could be semi-formal. Because like at least I know like some people aren't as like formal about it, like they themselves dress up really like casual, like. But I've seen pictures of my like, because my uncle and his to become wife, they have children, and they sent a picture of the children in a dressing store, or like dress store. Not dressing store, but like a dress store. They were looking for wedding dresses, and it looks pretty formal. So I don't know. This is like, I didn't think about this would be a problem, but I met my grandmother, and she was asking about like what I'm gonna wear, and then I realized that there's gonna be conversations about this topic if I subject myself to situations where that could be brought up, and I realized it might become a problem. If you could choose what to wear, what would you? What do you even wear that's semi-formal, like business attire? For me, semi-formal would be like cleaner clothes. Like not jeans, maybe. I don't know. I've like until now, I've been quite fine just wearing my normal clothes in parties. Implying you normally wear dirty clothes. Shh! Hush! 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 No, but it's like clothes that I could put on for like one party, for example. It's difficult to explain without showing. How'd I put it? I have like colored shirts, but they usually have patterns. But I would wear that. I would, unlike usual, I would take it to some person, like maybe my friend's place, who has like an ironing like board and an iron. I would iron the shirt, and then it would look like cleaner, but it would still have a pattern. It would still look a little funky. I would have like high waist, loose pants, like not jeans, but loose, very like wide pants, probably like black. This was my initial idea of what to wear, like those like white pants, a nice belt with the tucked in shirt with a collar on it, and then just have my hair on a man bun or something like that, you know? Hawaiian shirt. No! No! Is that the impression you get of me, that I would wear Hawaiian shirts? I mean, it's a look, alright? It's a look, but no. That was my idea. It looks nice, but I also wear that sometimes casually. You know, sometimes I go to my friend's place, I just want to put the specific clothes on, but I would put the same things to a wedding. It was my idea what's normal, but you know, see, I spend my time with abnormal people. Like, for example, when my father and his partner... How long ago? That was like 10 years ago now. 10 years ago they married. It was a very casual wedding. It was like the dress code was whatever feels comfortable, I think. And I've been like amongst their friend group, like for example, one person had her 50th birthday. And the dress code was basically Eurovision Song Contest. So everyone just made like these very, very cheap decorations and showed up in ridiculous disco outfits, you know? It's like, I come from this kind of background, so I'm really unsure. I mean, that sounds perfectly fine for semi-casual. Yeah. And I think semi-casual and semi-formal intertwine. They're in the same space. If someone invites me to a wedding and says, wear whatever is comfy, I'm going in my PJs. That would be perfect. Like, I don't want to marry, and I think weddings are a hassle. But hypothetically, if I organized a wedding, I would say, come in comfortable clothes, whatever feels nice. If people came in their pajamas, that would be completely fine. I mean, I could go in my hoodie. We have actually had a running joke with one of my friends that if we ever were to marry, in a very friend way, okay, there's nothing, it's just friends, you know, joking about it. We would have like an hoodie wedding where everyone would have to wear hoodies. Maybe I'll show you a picture of an hoodie. I think this would slap. I want a friend who has an hoodie wedding. I would, if anyone ever marries in an hoodie wedding in Europe within like, and I could travel there to the wedding within budget, I would go. I don't need to know anyone. I want to go to an hoodie wedding where everyone, even the people who get married, wear this. Because I think that would slap. Everyone would just get cozy and just snuggle in their hoodies. Wouldn't this be the ultimate dream? The ultimate wedding? An hoodie dream wedding. I think this is amazing. A pouch would keep your drinks cold. The pouch, yes, the pouch would do that. Exactly. This is my life quality has been in steady increase just because I have an hoodie now. I have had my hoodie for 1 year and 4 months, and it's been going steady. It's been going great. My hoodie brings me great sleep, great comfort, great snuggliness. That is not a word. I can recommend an hoodie if one can afford it. It's great. Why are we talking about this? Mr. Holden crossed his arms and contemplated that idea happily. Great. Yes, exactly. Hoodie wedding. We could really make a day out of it. Might as well enjoy the ocean while we can. Everyone else put in their own agreement with Cove's suggestion. Before long, both families dispersed, getting everything ready. Sandwiches had to be made, water, sunscreen, towels, and more needed to be gathered and packed. Posey and Cove both took some time to get dressed for the day. Tangent stream. We would have finished our life by now if I always didn't end up just talking about whatever. You also decided to bring the bottle of small batch lemonade Cove got you. Yes. The day felt sufficiently special to bust it out. Bust one out. An hour later, both your family and Cove's were walking down the old path to the beach. The morning was already turning into a bright and beautiful day. You honestly couldn't ask for a better weather for a beach trip. The moment you laid your eyes on the full view of the ocean, you stopped and stood there mesmerized. It didn't matter that you grew up there. The sight always filled you with wonder. Sorry for vanishing, I was making food, but I'm back. Ooh, what kind of food did you make? I myself have made fried rice today. It was delicious. I actually still have it. I will be eating a little bit before I go to my theater practice after stream is done. Hey Jamie.
So?
I was thinking about calling Terry and Mira. Not. No. 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 I thought we were done. I thought I could go for some spam fried rice or spam musubi. I have never eaten spam, and to be honest, it doesn't look appetizing, but whatever floats your boat, I guess. I thought we could have like this episode ended with us going to the beach, having family beach, more breakfast, I don't know. And now Cove is making things complicated and more hard and more lengthy and more awkward by inviting friends. It was supposed to be like a family gathering. And I don't care about Terry and Miranda. Like, I don't generally care about them. I care about them as little as Bella Swan cares about her human friends, which is like not at all. We've been watching Twilight with my friends. More hard, more lengthy, more hot. We have been watching Twilight with my friends, and I forgot how much of an asshole Bella Swan is. Bella Swan does not deserve to be around anyone. She doesn't deserve people in her life because she treats everyone like shit. Who even are Terry and Miranda? They're like Cove's and main character's school friends who were introduced for this one summer. They bring zero. They don't bring anything to the game. They bring zero. They bring zero good content into the game. They are unnecessary. But the game wants Terry and Miranda into the game, so they are here. That'd be cool. I'll ask them. You were already so excited at the prospect of seeing our friends today. Well, hey, can hear my excitedness. I immediately darted away into the direction of your mom's went. I immediately darted away in the direction your mom's went. So, where did your mom's go? Behind you could hear the familiar sound of Cove laughing. I always kinda thought Bella's utterly blandness and lack of character was intentional, so the viewer could kind of put themselves as the main character. In the books, though, does she have more personality in the books? I have read the first and last book, but that's like 10 years ago, so I don't remember. Because there's a possibility that is how it goes. Oh my god. The soundtrack too. The soundtrack of the second movie. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is the second movie's soundtrack? That is what we watched yesterday. What the fuck was that utter shit? Anyway, if I remember correctly, she has more personality in the books, but they just decided to direct her in the movies to be like bland. But it's like also like she's an asshole. Charlie, her father deserves a better daughter. What was the song? Was it the Paramore one? I don't know the song, a specific song. There's a possibility song, Twilight. Oh, it might be. Oh, it's from Ryūki. It's from Ryūki. I'm still here. All I heard was something about Twilight, and forgive me for saying this since it's a dead meme. This game is a better love story than Twilight. You are so right about that. And don't worry, we were making that joke all the evening yesterday when watching the second one. There's a possibility is apparently a song called Possibility by Ryūki. I'm gonna check this, but I'll write that to the chat. I'll check this. I'll open Spotify. Ryūki. Ryūki has nice songs though. A Swedish indie pop artist, you know. I think some of her songs have been in also other series I've once watched. Anyway, there's the possibility. Yeah. It's a possibility. A possibility. Maybe I won't get monetized and demonetized. Maybe I won't get banned if I show a little bit of the song. the stream. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. We're testing things out. I'll just like worst case scenario. I just edit it out from the VOD, and then we're fine. We're completely fine with that, right? We're so fine. Look at the possibility. Once it started playing, I just cringed so hard, and we were having a good time with friends. You can't watch Twilight alone. It's torture. Does it not recognize? Does it not recognize this? It does. An archived stream where you play all copyright content? Yes, we play all of it, just every single. I get the feeling someone's gonna copyright strike. No. No. Lyrics. See, other people have downloaded it. I might get copyrighted for this amazing advertisement. So yeah, you guys, if you're ever in Finland, just go to tori.fi to buy second-hand stuff. There's a possibility. There's a possibility. All that I have, that's all I'm gonna get. And that's all you need to know about this song. It's okay. It's an okay song. It's not the worst song. It's not the worst song. But it's a song. Buy your food at Lidl. I do buy my food at Lidl. Actually. I buy most of it. Lidl has a little Lidl has a little smaller selection of foods. But everything I can buy from Lidl, I buy from there. Beautiful. This is gonna be hell if this stream gets copyright strike law. It's not gonna get copyright strike. Okay. I have showed a clip from anime from Crunchyroll, and I didn't get copyright striked. All that happened was that YouTube gave me a notification. Hi, there is copyrighted content. We have blocked your video. You can do X, Y, and Z to get it back up. This is not a copyright strike. So what I did was I just edited out the copyrighted part, and the vote was up again. That was the Amnesia 2 stream. I will get in trouble one day. That would be so like that would be just like me. That would be just like my life. I wouldn't be surprised. It would be so fitting to my life to get copyright striked and in problems. You know? I looked at Mom to see what she thought about our friends coming, and she nodded unfortunately in agreement. Mom then shot a glance over at Mr. Holden and Cairo, knowing that they had likely heard everything. The more the merrier. No, Mom, say no. Okay. I don't want the friends here. It's sad you had to edit it out though. That was a fun stream. It was a fun stream, but it was only like a few minutes. We had a lot of fun in the stream. Not only Crunchyroll fun, we had other kinds of fun too. Delighted you nodded and turned on your heels. Ko was still several feet away talking to Lee and Liz, likely about the same time. I also got copyright problems with the Merchant Forest stream when I showed the Moomin clip from Moomins where the father runs away from orphanage. That one I had to edit out, unfortunately. Anyway, I sent a message to my friend. My friend sent me a picture and they were looking really cute, so I needed to tell them that. Now we're gonna keep on playing. We are gonna do this. We are gonna play the game, okay? We're gonna play the game with a beaming smile. He gave him a thumbs up, and the two of them must have also approved, as Cove quickly got his phone out and started making the calls. At that, you turned your attention to helping with the picnic setup. Unexpectedly, your phone started ringing. You dug it out, curious to see the caller ID, feeling your heart jump with excitement. You answered the video call request. It was Derek. Who remembers Derek? Do you remember Derek? Hi, it's been a while. Seriously, but what's up? Do you remember Derek? Wholesome friend, yes. It's the situationship person. Maybe I shouldn't call them friend. I don't know what we call each other. Situationship person. Situationship friend. Yeah, situationship friend. Anyway, Derek. Do you remember Derek? Derek has appeared only once in the game, or twice. It was on the first part when all the characters were still kids. And then Derek moved out. My theory is Derek reappears only for the DLC's purposes, because in the DLC, in Derek DLC, you can romance Derek. Why is Derek here? I don't know. In my opinion, the game should not have introduced Miranda and Terry, and instead should have kept Derek around, so we would have all the same characters throughout the years, so it would make the game more, I don't know, concise, I guess? I don't know. Oh no, who cares? Who cares about my opinions? The voice that came through was much deeper than it had been when you first met, but it still had the exact same amount of enthusiasm of a kid. Have you been enjoying these crazy summer days? Yeah, I have. Awesome. You'll have to catch me up on that. But what about you? How's your summer been? You were beyond curious to know what Derek had been up to. I am not curious at all. This is dragging so long. I just noticed the little shark thing. Yes, Cove bought it to the main character when they were kids. It's like a little charm. It's a relationship charm. Wait, who's Jamie? Jamie is the main character. It's the main character's name. You can choose the name, but before when I started playing this game on stream, I had not downloaded the like name pack, which has like voice acted names. So I just went with the default name, which was Jamie. So the main character is Jamie. And I realized too late that it was a missed opportunity to play the game as Jaime Lannister. What if Jaime Lannister grew up in a healthy environment? Couldn't you save and end this game for now, lol? No. No. How this game is structured is... if you can see here, this flashing save here. I'm flashing it for you. Okay, I'm flashing you. There. How the game is structured is you go through age periods. So the first part of the game, you're like 8. Second part of the game, you're middle schoolers. Third part of the game, where we are right now, we have just graduated high school, and then there's the last part where Cove and the main character are adults. Each part of it constitutes of opening sequence, summer memories, and ending sequence. So 3 parts. And the summer memories part is where you can decide to go through all these summer memories, and they differ in length, it seems. And we are doing the last summer memory of the high school part. And it's the drive one. It's the last one. But it has continued to drag on and on. It's insanely long. It's been so long. I cut our previous stream. Like, it seems in our previous stream I got so tired of how long this was. I just ended in the middle. I feel like this game is mostly few really good and but super short parts, separated by numerous agonizing filler. Yes! And I think the purpose of this is like, because the game is not automatically like a romancing game. Because you can play this as friends. You can play this as a romantic person. But like, and I guess what the game tries to do, like my understanding of this, like I have built this opinion, I have built this impression of the playing this game once and now playing it like on stream, or like playing it on stream, then playing it through when I was on hiatus and then continue on stream. My like impression is that whoever wrote this game wanted to create like a safe queer environment, so it's not only just like sex, but it's like, but you can have like a game for like for queer people who did not have the safe environment. So you can have like these unpurposeful like mundane things happening, and kind of like imagine a living environment and growing up with like lesbian moms with like fun friends and just like and having non-dramatic and non-traumatic childhood, I guess. It's like I like is what I have understood, is how I read this, like that the purpose, like they try with all this to build like a fleshed out summer, like experiences of summer that are like healthy and cute and sweet, and like an escapism for people who didn't have that. But like, I don't know, Derek is a filler. Yes, Derek is a filler. He is a filler, yeah. Anyway, but it's agonizing. It's agonizing for me. I have zero interest in this. But we'll push through. We'll push through. Okay. You were beyond curious to know what Derek had been up to since the last time you spoke. He chuckled, noticing your invested tone. Don't give him false hope, though. Honestly, I've been just slammed with stuff lately. College applications and scholarship inquiries. What else is new? I wish you nothing but good luck. I'm gonna need it. He chuckled. You could hear his small smile when he spoke. Yeah? Yeah, of course, you've worked really hard. Well, it's true. Thanks! His cheerful tone elicited a chuckle out of you. What about your family? Are your brothers being good? I don't care about Derek's brothers. They can be punks all they want, but I don't care about your parents. I don't care about your mom. Turning attention back to your surroundings, you smiled warmly at your family buzzing around, towels were laid out, blah blah. Actually, I'm with my mom's right now. Liz and Lee are here visiting too. Okay, bye. Thanks. Hanging up, the conversation left you energized and in good spirits. I'm not. You hurried over to your mom's and helped out with the rest of the food. In moments, you noticed Cove at your side. So what did they say? They're gonna come. Cool. No thanks for calling them.
No problem.
Derek's shirt kind of reminds me of Uzumaki. Like, you could zoom in and it'd be spirals. Anyway, can't wait for our friends to come. Everyone got comfortable and dug into the food. Don't dig into it, eat it. You couldn't remember the last time breakfast tasted this good, but you attributed it...
No problem.
Fuck. But you attributed it to the gorgeous ocean view and soothing sea breeze. That I'm not... You sound genuinely frustrated and mad lol. Me? I'm never... those emotions don't exist in my palette of 3 emotions, which are optimism, jolliness, and I guess it's just those 2. I'm only optimism and jolliness. You see? The conversation shifted to
In that
what we would
case-
do next. Few rounds of volleyball.
Is that all right?
Let's play volleyball, shall we? I love volleyball. Volleyball is my favorite sport. It's all hunky, isn't it? Miranda brightened, delighted with this plan. Ma looked around to see blah. I don't feel like playing. I'd like to change. I'd have to change, but it'd be fun to watch. Okay. Volleyball's a good idea, but there should probably be something happening for those who aren't a fan. Oh, I have some crafting supplies we could use to make jewelry. We could even use stuff we found around the beach to accentuate them.
Really?
I want to make a necklace.
Great.
I'd be interested in trying my hand at that too. I'll play volleyball, because I love volleyball. Yay, Ma is thrilled to have me on board. I'm game to play some volleyball. Now that plans were settled, the group temporarily split into two. I've never played volleyball, not because I wasn't into it, I just wasn't able to do it right. Me too, buddy. I remember we had volleyball in PE once or twice. Every time I tried to hit the ball, it hurt. Like it just hurt my skin. I think I did it wrong. I did something wrong, but it hurt. It hurt physically to play volleyball, so I gave up. I don't know. Like maybe I wasn't attuned enough to pain. Maybe I should try it now. Maybe it would be a different experience. Maybe now I could always go a little. No, I'm not gonna actually do that. But like, volleyball hurts. I don't understand people who play it. Anyway, alright, sports stars, you're gonna have to pick partners and then it's game on. Mr. Holden left the rest of you to deliberate and turned his attention to drawing a makeshift court in the sand.
Well,
She walked over to you and hooked her arm around yours. You laughed. I want to be on Jamie's team. You paired up with Ma. You wanted to have fun with your Ma. Cope on his game face, not intending to go easy on you now that you were on opposite sides. When Mr. Holden finished drawing the court, he went and fetched the volleyball from the various other supplies you all brought there. Sounds like we have our teams all set, right?
yes.
Okay, let's play volleyball.
Yeah.
Why does she say it like that? You kicked a small heap of sand. Okay, you quietly got serious. There wasn't anything you wanted to say. Your mind was completely focused on the game. Ma giggled a moment at your determined expression and then she wore one of her own. She looked across the court. I'll do my best to put up a fight. With that, Ma got into position and delivered a practiced first serve. The game began. In a battle over the volleyball, both teams scored points. There wasn't a set amount reached to end things, so it went back and forth for as long as everyone wanted to play. What is the MC's gender? I'm not exactly sure. I think we've decided he, him. That the player can decide the MC's gender or like pronouns. So yeah, and also like there is a I think in middle school and maybe also in high school when you have the first sequence of the part, the game asks you to like determine the body shape of the character. Is the main characters tall, short? Do they have boobs? Do they have flat chest? And stuff like that. And then if you change your pronouns mid-game, the other characters will take notice of that. And like, but it's not gonna be a problem because this is a healthy environment. They're just like, oh, everyone just you know, started using your new pronouns, and it's like that. It's very open for whoever plays the game. From a distance, the jewelry making group would also cheer when they heard shouts coming out of the court. On top of that, they would hold up each newly made piece in the air and the players would take a breather to applaud the creation. It wasn't until all of you were exhausted from the running, spiking and diving that a truce was called. You enjoyed every moment of it. The afternoon continued to drift by, but the fun was still going strong. Ko was thrilled when you pulled out the drink you had been saving. It had meant a lot to him that you wanted to savor it. That was worth the teasing smiles your family gave. Occasionally, someone would head back to the house to use the bathroom, rest away. I don't care about this shit. There was only one thing that could bring this beach day to an end, and that was the day itself to end. Before anyone realized it, the sun began to set over the sea. As that happened, you were taking a break, sitting on a towel with your legs stretched out past it and your feet buried in the warm sand. You were playing a handheld game. Surely you looked up to see your moms approaching. They stopped in front of you and you smiled. Hey there, kiddo.
How are you?
I'm doing really good. How about you? We're wonderful. They both sat down, squishing you between them. Ma leaned her head against yours and your mom started rubbing your back soothingly. Nothing more was said at first, but Ma sighed contentedly. Mom looked at you wistfully. We're both really proud of you, Jamie.
True.
You grew up to be more than we ever could have hoped. Thank you. You were touched by the words, and your voice came out in a whisper. Mom chuckled and lightly brushed a bit of your hair.
Thank you.
That's not something you need to thank us for. Still, I wouldn't be here without either of you. Ma wrapped an arm around your middle and squeezed you tightly in a side hug. Glancing at Mom, you saw how teary-eyed she became. She sniffled. You stayed there quietly and contentedly, watching the sunset with your parents for a while, until Mr. Holden called out for you. He was still walking in your direction. See, these are the moments that make me think that the main purpose of this game is not the relationship itself, it's the family experience. Like, you know, we were talking and think we're gonna take a walk down the shore. Any of you wanna come? Automatically you looked at your moms for what they were thinking. Mom glanced from you to Ma and smiled. That sounds good to me.
That's fantastic.
Let's go. Thrilled, Mr. Holden drew out a thumbs up and began heading back to the way he came in a light jog. Escapism, I think you're right, exactly. Like a person who's like not had a good time can just open the game and create a character and know that whatever route they go for and however rude like answers they're gonna like decide or whatever, they're still gonna like receive this like loving environment. I don't know. Why did I phrase it like that? I'm not entirely sure, but it's like this uncompromised sweetness. Like no matter how you decide to play the game, it's still gonna like give you this shit, you know. It will reaffirm you that it's all right. You can be as shy or outgoing or whatever. You can decide. Cliff kept going forward but flipped around, walking backwards across the sand so he could face you again.
No worries.
Kind of like why people watch Hallmark movies. It's just a way to reach out your desired setting. Yes, exactly. Okay, we'll catch up. Before you forgot, you turned your game off and left it on the towel for now. Okay guys, let's leave my PC on a towel and let's go. I don't know. At what point were we playing a video game? Both your moms held out a hand for you. Chuckling, you gave them each one and you all strolled back to the rest of the group. When Liz was in reach, Ma used her free hand to pull her into it too. Liz shook her head, but her mouth quirked into a smirk and she didn't resist. Together as fam, oh that is fucking bright. My eyes hurt. Together as a family. Oh, gee, you're followed behind the others hand in hand. Your feet squished into the wet sand as the waves rolled over them, and you didn't have a single care in the world as more and more stars began to dot the sky. That is a very bright sun. Once the sun had long been out of sight, it was finally time to pack up. The closing of the day and the ever-approaching end of summer seemed to intertwine. It caused a quiet, reflective mood to blanket over the group. On the beach, Terry and Miranda took turns compressing Cove in a hug before moving on to do the same to you. You chuckled, still overjoyed that you got to see them today. We didn't even do anything with Terry and Miranda. We didn't do anything with them. They came here, showed up, they went away. They were an unnecessary part, an unnecessary piece in this. Completely unnecessary. Oh. I'm sorry, we have to go already. My parents are here. It's okay, but still, I wish we could help clear all this up. Don't worry about it, just thanks for coming out today. It was cool having everyone here. Super glad we came. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. Nodding, you turned your attention to Terry. She wore a large grin on her face and held a hand out for a low five. You obliged.
See you later.
After that they walked away, waving to you and Cove as they went down the shore. Cove waved quietly back with a small smile on his face. You waved too. It was a big wave. You hoped Miranda was right and there would be another day like this soon. I don't. Taking you by surprise, Terry jumped and twisted around. She kept up with Miranda by walking backwards. She kept the mood of your farewell light by shooting a finger gun. I don't care. Ma asks.
Come on.
Us, and Mr. Holden asks us to come there. Both your parents were motioning for you. Tons of things ended up at the beach over the course of the day, so there was still so much to pack up, and the parents needed help. With a nod, you got to it, stuffing various things in the bags and bundling them in towels. Everything is gonna be so sandy. The sand is gonna be everywhere. Once things were ready to go, everyone filled their arms with as much as they could carry. Absolutely no one wanted to be a back and forth kind of task. Not this one, this to be back, but absolutely no one wanted this to be a back and forth kind of task. Are we going off to a war or something? Why is the farewell so detailed? I don't know. I don't know. And I don't care. Maybe I unlocked an alternative ending where the town is gonna get nuked. Who knows? The walk back home ended up being mostly quiet. Each person seemed to be feeling the effects of the day. A cool breeze carried you across the sand and onto the road. There was a sigh of relief from what felt like the group as a whole when they arrived back to the neighborhood. Well, hello everyone. You glanced to the side and spotted a very recognizable face walking down the road. I don't care. I don't care about Baxter. He's here only for a fucking DLC. I don't care. Do you need help with that? It's alright, this is our mess to clean up.
Oh.
If you're sure then. I was simply heading home after getting some fresh air. The season is almost over after all. Yeah, Baxter was only a tourist. He wouldn't be in town much longer. You knew that, and so did he. If you have a minute, I'd just like to say it was a pleasure getting to know you both this summer. We did not get to know each other. We hung out 2 times. You gave us one lift to a parking lot 1 time. We did not get to know each other. His head tilted towards you and he smiled warmly. Baxter offered you his hand. You waved goodbye instead. Your arms were too full of things. You were only able to move one hand moderately, so you gave him a small wave, and Baxter nodded understandingly. You didn't say anything. I want to go away. Baxter turned to shake Cove's hand this time. He was a little incredulous for a moment, but then Cove eventually shifted what he was carrying and took Baxter's hand. It wasn't long, but it was a solid handshake. Baxter was clearly pleased. Why is he pleased about shaking hands? Why must people be so into handshaking? I wish we had more time together, but it was still a nice ride while it lasted. I would happily do it all over again. We hung out 2 times. We hung out 2 times. And it was not in warm, like, it was not warm vibes. It was, whenever Baxter has shown up in the game, it has always been really awkward. Like, Cove has not felt, has not been feeling it. Cove has at no point has been feeling it. Completely hating it. I have not ever felt like hanging out with Baxter. We have like always tried to not hang out with him. Baxter sauntered away. Thank you. Me and Liz were just going inside your house. You couldn't spot Kyra or Mr. Holden anywhere, but the door to their house was wide open. Mom approached you with an amused look on her face. Seems like you're holding up some Holden things. Surprised he glanced down to make a quick inventory of what you were holding. Mom was right. Heh, some of it belonged to the neighbors. Baxter looks like the kind of person who was peeking through the window during the bedroom scene earlier. No. Maybe he was. You know, right? You know what? You know what? Maybe he was. Maybe he was. Maybe he was doing that. Would you mind dropping it off now? Can do, it's not a problem. Thank you very much. And that's his idea of getting to know you.
Good night.
He's been stalking us this whole time. He's been always in the background. If we go back to the previous episode, like summer memories, if you look really closely at the pixels, we can find him in the background. In the background illustrations, we can see a little Baxter there in the bushes. Always looking. You caught up to Cove and together you went over to his house. Walking in the front door, you saw Kyra and Mr. Holden busily unpacking already. Things were scattered on counters and they were moving around each other, putting their items away. They both lifted their heads when Cove closed the front door. Hey, it's nice seeing you again already, Jamie. A teasing tone brought a light smile to your face. I ended up with things of yours from the beach. Oh, thanks for getting that to us. Oh, you can put it here on that coffee table. Mr. Holden pointed at the surface he was referring to and you immediately left what didn't belong to your family there. Cove put his own things down on the floor just at his feet, wading through everything strewn about to reach his parents. Putting your family's stuff on the ground for a moment, you adjusted your blah blah. You went over to where the others were too. Kyra opened her arms wide, wanting to hug you. You accepted. Happily you went to her. She held on tightly. Over the years you were able to form a good rapport with her, and you were grateful for that. You could feel in her hug how much Kyra had grown to care about you. It brought an affectionate smile to your face. His Instagram is full of pictures where he's taking selfies of himself, and Jamie and Cove are also in the scene, just far away and doing unrelated things, with Turtle's like hanging out with the homies. No, but you're so right about that. You're so right about that. Like, that's basically the whole sequence when they go to watch fireworks together with the group. It's like Jamie and Cove are just doing their own thing, and then he's just watching from the side and smiling at them. It's so awkward. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It was a blast. It's no problem. I had fun too. Kyra eventually released you, but patted the tops of his shoulders as a final gesture.
Thank you.
Did she say kinky or thank you? Or what did she say?
Thank you.
Oh, it's thank you. I heard she said kinky. I don't know why. Every time I've gotten to come by, it's been an absolute joy. Things really couldn't have worked out better. Mr. Holland took a step closer to you. Kara moved aside to let him say goodbye to you. He grinned. Thanks for always being such a friendly neighbor. Yeah, really friendly. And not just right now, but as long as I've known you. I didn't always make it easy, but you and your family are good people. I really truly appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
At that, Mr. Holden reached over and gave you a soft pat on top of your head. You hugged him. Taking him by surprise, you latched your arms around Mr. Holden. He let out a small squeak and went rigid. After a moment he relaxed and began to lightly pat you back. Before shifting into a full hug, you held on firmly. Thanks for being such a good father-in-law to become. Always gonna hear it as kinky now. Oh, as every time someone says thank you, my head just translates it to kinky. I'll always be surprised. As you let go, he sniffled, but when he met your gaze once more, his mouth pulled into a wide, happy grin. Okay, one thing I can't unhear is the word gaze. Because for me it sounds like gay in plural. A gaze. And it happens all the time. I can't help it. When I hear gaze, it sounds like gaze. But said in a funny way. And I laugh about it in my head. It's really lazy. It's really stupid. It's not clever at all. But it just happens, you know. It's one of those things that just happens. I just can't help it. My brain just is braining its own way, you know. That rhymed. Mr. Holden was staring at you, and his gaze seemed far away. Maybe he was looking back at who you used to be. The 8-year-old he had asked to be his son's new friend.
See you.
It's like giggling when someone says 69, but 69 is always a good joke. Then Ko took a step forward. He just stood to put his pile of things he had carried into the house.
Don't worry about it.
I'll put stuff away in a few minutes. Right, I need to go do the same with my family. I figured. Ko walked you to the door and held it open. Taking one last check around to make sure you had all your things to bring home, you went into the road. He leaned his body against the door frame, not following you out. So this is it, huh? Actually, that's not what I mean. His expression twisted and he shook his head a bit, like he was trying to banish the pensive thoughts.
Bye.
Bye. I'll see you soon. Why are they so dramatic about this? They don't go to school anymore. Their summer doesn't just end. Their summer continues as long as they want it to. Like, as long as they have money. Then they will have to eventually go to work, but it's like... This is odd, how they treat this. Your mouth pulled into a soft smile, and you weren't sure who you were trying to reassure more. Cove reached forward and gently cupped your face with one hand. His thumb trailed across your cheek for several hard beats. Mesmerized by his blue eyes, you stepped forward, delighted to oblige the request he was silently asking. He met you halfway as you smiled into the kiss. It was soft with longing, and your chest ached, knowing that there couldn't be anything more than this. At least for now. It's teenage angst. Yeah. Summer has come. How does it go? Wait. Wake me up when September ends. How does it go? How does it go? I'm not a true Green Day fan, am I? Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends. Like my fathers come to pass. 7 years have gone so fast. Wake me up when September ends. Here comes the rain again, falling from the star. Is that how it really goes? Rain again, falling from the stars, drenched in my pain again. I don't know how it goes. I didn't listen to Green Day that much. I actually love that album though. Yeah. It's like there was a point I did check out Green Day. I listened to some of their albums, but it didn't like stick. You know, it didn't like it didn't grow on me. You know, I didn't grow on it. It didn't grow on me. American Idiot, Jesus of Suburbia. Oh yeah, this song. I can't sing this one because I don't remember it that well, but yeah, it does ring a bell now that I'm listening to it. Yeah. Maybe I should have a new Green Day arc. Maybe I should properly get into Green Day. They're still releasing albums. Do you think their newer stuff is good? Have you listened to their newer stuff? I'm gonna continue with this situation. One of his hands grabbed onto the door handle and firmly held it, stopping himself from coming along with you. As you walked over to your own front door, he stopped. Turning around, you spotted Cove right where you left him. You laughed quietly to yourself. For a small pause, you both stared at each other from across the street. You blew him a kiss. Cole reached out like he was catching it off to the side, and then he curled his fist to his chest, holding the kiss close. Your lips curled into a beaming smile. Okay, that's kind of... It's sweet. It's sweet. It's a theater kid thing. No idea. I loved American Idiot and that's it. I think... You blew him. I blew him. Yeah, I actually did that. One thing I have learned about recently is like birthday blowjobs. This sounds so alien to me, but like apparently that's a thing. Oh, let me see. Let me see, Urban Dictionary. Okay. Yeah, on a guy's birthday you get a blowjob. Doesn't not have to be performed by a girl/boyfriend or wife, but they have to pay for it one way or another. When it's your birthday, you guilt your partner into giving you a blowjob because it's your birthday. So apparently this is some kind of concept people have come up with where for some reason you don't give like blowjobs except for when guilted into it on birthday or something like that. I was surprised that would be even a thing. What the heck? What is wrong with people? It sounds so dumb. That came to my mind from You Blew Him. We were joking about this yesterday with friends. Anyway, a few steps in, you saw your family gathered in the living room. They were still busy unpacking and cleaning. You added the things you brought to the pile on the kitchen counter. Mom stood up, rubbing her eyes a bit. She yawned loudly. I'm bushed. How about we finish the rest of the chores tomorrow? It's like you only do nice things on Valentine's Day. Do nice things all year round. Exactly. Exactly. Do nice things all year round. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand people who live by some kind of rule book. Like, I don't know. Like only certain things only happen on certain days, and because this is a norm. Yeah, I don't understand normative life. I don't know if birthday blowjobs belong to normative life. It sounds kinda... sounds like a concept that has been developed in chronically online Reddit groups or something like that. But maybe it is. I don't know. But I just don't understand it. And it's also like, I don't know, it's also about like food items. I know it's nice to only associate certain food items to certain events, but like this is very different. But like for example, like some Christmas foods, like gingerbread cookies, for example. Why can I not eat gingerbread cookie dough during summertime? There's no reason for me to withhold myself. But then there's people who get really upset about it. Yeah, things like that. Or like presents. People are always like, oh, I want to give this to that person, but it's not their birthday in like 7 months. And I'm like, just give it to them. It doesn't need to be on their birthday. Just give them if you have a gift for them, just give the fucking gift. You know? I don't know. It's just a tangent now. I feel like the tangent is starting to build inside of me, and soon it's gonna come out of my mouth and I can't stop it. So we're gonna continue with the game. Thanks. Ma put her hands on her hips and turned to assess the room. Ma was not one who liked to leave a mess about, but she sighed.
All right.
I suppose we can make an exception to the usual rule. It's been a really long day. Oh, we get pfeffernusse here during Christmas, and I wanna eat them all year round. Pfeffernusse. That sounds interesting. Pfeffernusse. Ooh. Ooh, I think I have actually once tested this out. Yeah. Place of origin, Denmark, Germany, Netherlands. I think I have once eaten them. Yeah. They have usually cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon, cloves, ginger, black pepper, mace, and anise in them. Molasses, sugar, and honey are used to sweeten the cookies. Yeah, I remember I felt like it was a little odd tasting because it had like spices I don't usually eat. Like for example, like I think nutmeg. Or do we use anise in Finnish food? No, I don't think we use anise in gingerbread either. Molasses too is not like not what we use, I think. Let me see. They were like it was a little odd like taste experience if I remember right. Yeah. Anise is super weird. I don't think I've ever had an anise one. Please tell me people also joke about anise as anus. Because it's also another one of those stupid jokes we always make when anyone like mentions anise. Because in Finnish we write it without the e at the end, so just anise, and then it's like it's just used to make a lazy joke about it. Just reminds me of absinthe. Does it? Does the taste remind you of it? Anise. Anus. Anus. What? Is that the pronunciation of it? Anise pronunciation. Anise. Anus. Anise. Anus. 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 I'm not sure what you're trying to make out of that one, but we do make jokes about it. Well, it's just a dumb way to pronounce it. Yeah. Why must we be like this? I don't know. It's really been a long day. It's been 3 hours of this shit. Liz grinned contentedly. Lee wasted no time in skipping over to you and hooked you into a side hug. Good night. Have the loveliest dreams. Lee ended that sentence with a wink and a hearty laugh. She let you go. I do like how Lee looks. I hope you have good dreams too. Yay. That would be a fantastic way to recap off today and start tomorrow. Here's to us, Jamie. Tonight, tomorrow, and forever. Thanks, Lee. I don't know what I'd do without you. Lee has not been a significant part of our lives in this game. Lee stretched her arms high over her head. She yawned loudly and looked at you with tired eyes. I think that's my cue to head to bed. Bye. Let's go to sleep, please. Before you had a chance to do anything else, you could feel the top of your head being tapped. You spun around to see Liz smirking. Nighty night, I'm heading to bed too. It's been a long day and I have a lot to prepare for tomorrow. Exhaling automatically started fixing the back of your hair. When Liz didn't immediately walk away, you smiled softly at her. Everything okay? Her gaze moved away and you knew she had more to say. You waited patiently for Liz to compose her thoughts. It's been a good summer. It was nice to come back home. You nodded and Liz gave you a teasing nudge as she went by. Amused, you turned and watched her go. Love you, baby brother. Love you too. Liz stopped walking and stared at you for a moment. She smiled softly at you. Get some sleep soon. Morning will be here faster than you know it. When Liz was out of sight, Mom started up the next conversation over her shoulder. Why do we have to have a singular conversation with every fucking character of the game? Aren't you heading on? I am fucking going to bed. I'm gonna relax first. Blah. Desperately, you needed some time to decompress and clear your mind. You worried if you went off to bed now that you would end up staring at the ceiling all night. Ma came over too, smiling understandingly. She pulled you into a big hug.
Love you.
Alright, you do what you need to. When you were done hugging Mom pulled you into another hug. Their actions, basically handing you off to each other, had you laughing jovially.
I love you.
So much. You're the best parents. Ma's eyes sparkled from your compliment. Mom pulled you into another hug. This is really long. This is really fucking long. After that, your moms headed off towards their bedroom down the hall. You were about to turn the other direction when you heard Mom's voice. No! I don't care. I don't want this. Just let me go to bed. And don't let the bed bugs bite. I don't care. It was a good rest and all your tired muscles felt quite relaxed. You got up planning to go to bed. And something on the window caught your eye, and it's gonna be another long sequence where they go to watch the fireflies in the evening, isn't it? Your feet brought you right into the large windows spanning the length of the back wall. You stared out into the hills behind your house. As if on cue, your phone came on, alerting you of a new notification. It was Cove. Baxter! It's Baxter! It's Baxter! Wanna hang out on the hill tonight? Okay, I do like this piece of soundtrack. Something inside told you that this was the right kind of night to take a trip out there. You sent him back a very quick message. The game doesn't even give us a choice. The game doesn't give us a choice. It doesn't. It just decided that we are gonna go out there with Baxter and Cove. You went over to the front door and stepping over the threshold you gave the living room one last glance over your shoulder. Then you shut the door behind you silently and made your way to the pop hill. With light steps in the dark, you walked across the hills behind your house. Up ahead at the very top, silhouetted beneath by the night sky, was the silhouette of a man. Scabarouche, scabarouche, will you do the fandangos? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo! Smiling and wondered just how he always got there first. He even had the advantage of living closer. Then again, and maybe it was only in your mind, but somehow Cove was intrinsically linked with this place. When he shook his hand, he slipped an air tag into your clothes. No! Oh no, no, Baxter. Also, it would be really funny if this game ended up with the plot that actually Cove was haunting this hill, and when they tried to move, they realized that he's actually dead, and that he's actually like waiting to move on, pass on. He couldn't move away from this hill. He's just like stuck here in this village or town. That would be funny. After all these years, it would be weird to scan this horizon and not find him there. As surreal as the shore without the sea. The distance between you was growing shorter by the second. Hearing the grass and earth crunch under your feet, Cove turned. A grin spread over his face as he saw you. You took your place standing behind him on the crest of the pop hill, looking out over the ocean. Same as you'd done on countless times since he first arrived, when you'd found him on this very same spot. Jamie. He had officially broken the silence and spell that had held you both in place. You looked at him expectantly. No shit, that'd be great, and that actually everyone you were talking to were ghosts after the apocalypse happened. Yeah! I like that idea. We should rewrite the game. There's something I've always kind of wondered about. He cocked his head, giving you a sidelong glance. What did you think about when we met? I was just a kid you'd never seen before, bawling his eyes out on the hill next to your house. He chuckled, his eyes drifting toward the sea beyond before flicking back at you. The way his gaze pulled back to you made it clear that he was genuinely invested in the topic. Luckily for him, you remembered what initially struck you in that moment. It was as if it had only happened yesterday. Actually, it happened like maybe 9 months ago or something, maybe even more, 10 months ago. Well, I remember noticing the huge glasses you had then. Cove burst out into a genuine laughter at your reply. I guess that's fair. It did kind of stand out. Smiling, you continued to reminisce about that first meeting. I also remember trying to cheer you up. I remember that too. You ran a hand through his hair, and you knew his line of questioning wasn't at an end, even before he spoke again.
I mean...
Do you remember what you thought about me? You know, as a person? Was I annoying or mean or... For real though, this would be a good scene to end the game on, as a comparison of how much they've grown between the two Firefly scenes. Yeah. I was just thinking like how this could be a great ending of this episode of the game. Like, we don't need that extra summer ending sequence, right? Unless this is like... But I still think this is a summer memory. And that is upsetting. It would be a positive surprise if this was the ending sequence of this episode, and then we would be left with the last episode of them being adults. But, like... No. This would be a great ending. These are kind of strong things, but I think we did go with this, with the option when we played through that scene, like wanting to marry Cove, but I want to go with this one. This feels more like appropriate answer to the question. I didn't know what the feelings were at the time, but I thought you were cute right away. The last one would be crazy. What was the last one? I don't remember anymore. No, that would be so disappointing though. Cove brought a hand to his mouth, half hiding his self-conscious smile. Okay, what would be the answer? Cove nodded, accepting your response. It wouldn't be that bad. What if we said, I wanted to marry you? Cove turned fully to face you, his mouth hung open.
Seriously?
You wanted to marry me? After the way I acted when we met? Yeah. He stared at you, eyes as round as the full moon, then ducked his head away. He seemed to be struggling for a way to respond.
What?
I don't even know what to say to that. You really just knew I was right for you? He took a deep breath, building up his courage for what he wanted to bring up next. I wonder if we were meant to be together. I guess we are gonna go with that one. I mean, we did decide that Jamie go strong. Jamie go romance strong, so... but here I'm gonna say we are the ones to decide that. Cove smiled bashfully, his eyes flicking back to you under green lashes. Cove's hand drifted to the scar on his arm. What is this change of music? What a mood breaker. His fingers unconsciously gliding off the mark. It was much less noticeable than it had been when the neon pink cast had first come off, shrunken gradually over the years as his body healed, then dwarfed in comparison to his growing body. Till his fingers came back to it without thinking. His head drooped as he looked down at the ground. The grass ruffled gently against his feet. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. The grass ruffled gently against his feet, tousled by the breeze rolling off the sea. When he spoke, his voice was quiet. It seemed special to me as soon as I saw you. Though, admittedly, as a little kid, I definitely didn't think wedding bells were the reason for that. Hello. The scheduled date for the stream was wrong again. No, it wasn't. For me it was correct. Okay, for me it was correct. Was it? Oh no! Okay, guys, I think I know what the problem is. I think I have... oh yeah. It might be that it might be that I have put the time of the stream in 12-hour clock when it's actually in 24-hour, or like, you know. So instead of writing 13, I have written 1. So that might be the problem, because I use 12-hour clock all on my phone, and I'm like used to that one. In general, we use in Finland like 24-hour clock, but by the years, it's probably because I have my phone also set in like Japanese and stuff like that. It's often gone for the 12-hour clock, so I'm used to thinking of clocks that way and time that way. That's odd. Could I have accidentally typed 01 instead of 13 without any AM PM markers? That would explain a lot of things. I'll keep this in mind the next time I schedule a stream. There won't be any streams this week after this one because I will be extremely busy this weekend. But it was scheduled for April 3, 8:30 p.m. Okay, but what time zone are you in on UTC? Because that doesn't say anything to me because we are on different time zones. Yeah. That doesn't help. If you say April 3rd, 8:30 p.m, then I would need to know the difference in time we have between time zones. But I think it would be a plausible theory that I just like imported but I inserted the time in 01 instead of 13. And therefore the stream is scheduled to start 12 hours before I actually wanted to start it. Yeah. Okay. Welp. Now we know that is probably the reason the schedules have been wrong. Haven't had this problem before. yeah, that checks out. Yeah, Well, I'll be more careful next time. I'll check it. I'll try to. Now that we've had this conversation, I'll remember it more easily when I schedule the next stream. I was thinking maybe next we could play Milk Outside a Bag of Milk. Kind of, it's maybe a sequel to Milk Inside a Bag of Milk Inside a Bag. It could be a shorter stream. I could like schedule it into my week next week, maybe Monday. We'll see about that, but yeah. Anyway, let's try to get this episode done because we have 40 minutes until I have to go and do laundry because I reserved the laundry machines of the apartment building for 5. Unrelated, but you have an art tag on YouTube, ton of art, and I always see it as no fart. I think it's funny. I also see it that way. I've been thinking of getting rid of the tags. I had them on because that was like when I started streaming. I was like, I'll just like, I didn't really have a reference to what to do, so I my only like reference to VTubing was corporate VTubers, and I saw that they had tags, and I was like, okay, maybe that's appropriate, so I added them. But like I have had no use for them so far, so I've been thinking of removing them altogether. But I think it's just a really funny thing. It's like 69 jokes or anus jokes, you know. I think it's funny. Anyway, Cove, he raised an eyebrow at his vague words, wondering what it was that he meant. Cove lifted his head up, finally committing to meet your eyes fully once more. I remember you that day. I remember it really well. I don't think I'd ever be able to forget. I'm in Texas, United States, so I don't know what time zone I'm in. Okay. It baffles me that people don't use UTC time zones because that attempts to be universal, and it's easy to do mathematics with that, but instead people use like some weird shortened versions for like some US time and for some other time, and it's like, bruh, that doesn't give me any information about how far away that is from my time. But it's, yeah, I think UTC is great, but no one apparently uses it. Texas time zone UTC, I don't know. UTC/GMT -5. So I'm at +3, so we have 8-hour time difference. And if it showed to you 8:30 p.m, then I would have scheduled it according to you to be April 4th, 2:30, which would be a really odd time. I did check the time. That sounds wrong for some reason. Oh, Texas has 2 time zones. Is that right? Okay, so you're on both -6 and -5 time zones. That sounds so wild, though. That sounds really wild. GMT, yeah. UTC GMT, I think that's the same. Yeah. I can picture the way you looked back then, when I first saw you standing right here. I still know the expression on your face when you chose to sit with me in the grass. He chuckled self-derisively, interrupting his own monologue. You scared me at first. I figured I'd be alone out there until I had to face my dad again, and then suddenly another kid appeared out of nowhere. It was startling, but I got over that fast. You were a strange person in a strange place, but in that moment, you were exactly what I needed. Somebody I could talk to freely about what was happening and how it made me feel. And he listened to me, stayed with me. He sighed and then bit his lip and gave a small smile. I was a little bit spoiled growing up. Hydration time. I've run out of water now. You let him continue. He looked off again, seeking clarity for his thoughts in the expanse of the night sky. What I'm trying to say is, when I was younger, I viewed myself basically as the center of the universe. I didn't even imagine it wasn't like that.
I mean,
Things didn't simply happen. That would be weird, according to my little kid brain. It made far more sense that everything in my life had a specific connection to me somehow, right? He sought affirmation in you, wavy brows raised as he tried to explain his childlike logic. So at the time you felt almost unreal, like you weren't just anyone, some other kid who happened to live in that neighborhood with your own whole life that wasn't connected to Cove Holden. No, to me you were there, so that you could find me when I was lost. A lot of people go their entire lives thinking like that. I was just about to say, like, I feel like there's a lot of adults who go like this and then act like it too. Yeah. At least Cove grew out of it, you know? It turns out you were there for that. You were trying to find me because something had sent you specifically to do that. I just didn't expect it to be my dad. I guess he knew more about what I needed than I thought. He chuckled, shaking his head as he shook off the thought. I kind of expected it all to vanish like a dream when that night was over. I would wake up and everything would be the same again.
that's...
I'd be back in my bed at home, my real home, with both of my parents. The future was something I couldn't picture anymore. I didn't know what school would be like when I went back, or the table where I'd eat breakfast the next morning, or anything. And if I couldn't imagine it, how could I think it was something actually happening? I couldn't grasp my new reality. It was too big for me to hold all at once. Imagine if this whole game was like these kind of sequences, like actually conversations. When you grow out of it, it's called sonder. Another word I have never heard before, sonder. The profound feeling of realizing that everyone, including strangers passed in the street, has a life as complex as one's own, which they are constantly living despite one's personal lack of awareness of its neologism. Sonder. Let's see if it has a Wikipedia page and if that has a Finnish version. So I could learn a Finnish term for this. No, I think it's just strictly an English word, but or maybe is it an English word, or does it have like etymology somewhere else? Let's see, sonder etymology. From Proto-Germanic sundras, isolated, particular, alone, from Proto-Indo-European strer, seni senusan, apart, without, for oneself, cognate to Latin sign, without, English sunder, separate, different, sonder. Okay. It's borrowing from German. Maybe it's originally a German term then. Interesting. But it's good. It's good that there's a word for it. Anyway, so I thought I'd never see you again. Then Cole beamed at you, his eyes shining bright. And I never ever would have been able to guess that 10 years later, when I was a grown-up, the two of us would still be together. I'm so glad I met you. But the smile faded from his face as his eyebrows drew together. That was the worst day of my life at the same time. At the time. The day my family broke apart, it was too heavy for me to even think about. I felt that way for I don't know how long. He held a hand over his heart, connecting with the pain he'd felt as a kid, and looked at you earnestly.
It's okay.
That was never really true. Things have only gotten better with me and my dad and mom. It was the change we all needed. His eyes were growing misty. So when I remember that time right now, it's not the point that my life was over. It was only the moment when I met the man expressions like the man I love are extremely uncomfortable in my opinion. But I guess people say these things. The man I love. I don't know, that provokes an instant ick feeling in me, but maybe I've heard it in like unpleasant contexts only. It just also reminds me of like songs, like that reaction just holding back upon me. No, but seriously, it makes me think of all the songs. Yeah, there's so many songs where like some man sings like, for example, there's this like K-pop song that goes like, "I wanna be a better man." Like that's the chorus, and I think there's multiple Finnish songs too where they're like, "I want to be a better man." It would be like the translation to it. Actually, that works in English. Yeah, for you, I'd want to be a better man, and stuff like that. It's dumb. The songs are dumb. What they say is dumb. Their looks when they're singing are dumb, in my opinion. But you know what? I shouldn't hate it. I shouldn't hate it that much. It's not that bad. It brings people happiness, I suppose. When I was crying to a stranger over what I thought I'd lost, I didn't have any idea that he would be the one thing in the world that I actually wouldn't be able to live without. I love you. He took in a breath, forever amazed whenever he spoke those words.
I love you.
To Jamie. Maybe we should kiss him. You leaned into the kiss, his lips soft against yours. Cove sighed contentedly. What is this change in music? That totally broke the mood. What the heck? That totally broke it. Cove sighed contentedly. His voice was as delicate as the petals on the poppies which crowned this hill. Hey Jamie, I'm so grateful. You always took care of me. You didn't even know what to say back to that. His heartfelt appreciation left you speechless. He tilted his head up, thoughts lost in the sparse clouds above. I wonder how late it is. I guess it doesn't really matter. My dad is fine with me being out here for whenever. Yeah, I don't care. You just quietly nodded. Mr. Holden was content giving Cove all the freedom he could. Are you going to lay in the grass now? Wow, how do you know? Lucky guess, Cove. With a chuckle, Cove plopped down on the ground and laid on his back, his usual way of spending time here. Should we sit on Cove's chest? Why are we talking about our parents at the time like this? Yeah! Who the fuck cares about sending a message to our parents? Hi, I'm having a romantic moment with my bae at the hill. Is it okay if I stay out? I don't know, they're 18 already. I mean, legally they should be able to do whatever. Because that's US, so they can't drink. But you know, still they could do majority of things now. It's odd. The relationships with parents, this game, like the Bickers. Is that the pronunciation of the word? Maybe is a little odd to me, a little foreign to me. Maybe this is what people like. Should we sit on Cove's chest? Let's do that. You decided you'd rather not sit in the crowds and that there was a much better seat available, and sat squarely on Cove's chest. He instinctively tried to spring up, but didn't get far with you on top of him. His head flopped into the grass again and a half escaped him. Why are you doing this? You simply smiled down at him. The both of you fully settled in to relax on the hill. It felt like just the beginning of one of your nightly outings. But then you realized the sun was peeking out over the horizon. Cove spoke up with a disbelieving tone.
Huh.
It really was late. Your neighbor wasn't a stranger to being awake at dawn. However, not like this. He was normally an early sleeper, early riser. This unexpected sunrise particularly awed him. The two of you watched on silently as the sun began to light the world. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for summertime. I don't like summer, but what I do like is being able to be outside throughout the night without freezing, and being able to look at the sunrise and just like walk around the empty city in light during nighttime, because you know, northern what do you call it, hemisphere, what do you call it, northern hemisphere, yeah, northern hemisphere, yes, you know, very northern parts of northern hemisphere have very, very long days, very light, bright nights during summertime. So that's great. It's something I love doing. The mosquitoes are annoying, but once you get over them, it's really nice. Cope then propped himself up on the backs of his arms and looked at you with a soft expression on his face. Do you want to go back home? I could carry you if you're too tired. I'd rather stay a little longer. You couldn't resist a yawn, but you were serious. It couldn't be time to go already. Cove chuckled affectionately.
I get it.
But it's been a long day. We've done a lot of things, like really a lot. It has to end sometime. Since when were you okay with things ending? That made him laugh again. It was a fair question. Since you made me feel better about it. That was kind of sweet. Okay, that was kind of sweet response. And we can still stay if you want to. Cove smiled brightly at you, as warm as the new rays of sun that were tickling your skin. In that moment you couldn't have appreciated him being there more. Maybe we should lean into Cove. You bent yourself against Cove for extra support. He tilted his head against yours. And you didn't say anything more, should we? Yeah, we have repeated that phrase enough times. Let's just go with no words.
Good night.
The two of you remained together on that familiar poppy hill where you first met until the world began to fade and blur. You were falling asleep. A few more gentle words drifted into your consciousness.
See you tomorrow.
Your eyelids dipped, but you felt good. You were safe and relaxed. Everything that had come before this had reassured you of that. You were confident that when you opened them again, things would be okay. That would have been a great place to end. Why is this continuing? I wonder if this is the end. No, it's not. It's not the end. Why is this not ending? Why are they dragging this? Why are they dragging this for so long? I'm tired. You opened your eyes. Instead of the walls of your room, you were surrounded by open sky. It was not soft pillows and sheets underneath you, but a bed of earth and grass that you'd taken last night. The day welcomed you in, with a shining sun, a refreshing breeze, and the chirping song of birds. You cupped your face with your hands as you sat up, feeling the imprint of blades of grass leaving lines into your cheeks. Jamie. Hearing your name, you lowered your hands and looked around. There he was, your most influential neighbor, Cove Holden. He had made himself very comfortable, laying on his stomach with jewelry and shoes taken off and a flower in his hand. And good morning. Those eyeglasses just don't work, in my opinion. They just don't work. Won't need breakfast with all the bugs you probably ate while sleeping outside. Cove laughed, tickled with the overall situation, simply being able to spend time like that. I think I have slept outside, but I have never slept like a night, like a whole night under a starry sky, or however you should phrase that. Like I have slept like many hours on like some field or in some forest or something like that, but not like spending a night. Maybe I should try that. Maybe I should try that. Anyway, tickled with the overall situation, simply being able to spend time like this. Yay. Told you I'd see you tomorrow. Pretty safe bet. We see each other nearly every day. So, smiling, you shook your head and left Cove to his victory. Cove turned his head up to the sky, his expression content. Looks like it's gonna be a nice day. We'll have to come up with something to do to make the most of it. He trailed off, blinking slowly in the moonlight. Someday, when we're even older than we are now, I wonder what we'll end up remembering this moment for. What will we feel when we look back at it? Will it be the same as what we're feeling right now?
It's nice.
I can't see what the future is gonna look like again, but I think that's alright. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have forgotten all about this. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Cove turned back to you, nodding in full agreement. He eyed the hills sprawling out before you and down below where the wild hill and nature gave way to civilization. Your home and Cove's lay down at the bottom, neatly filed among the other houses in the neighborhood. Cove said nothing but fixed you with a deliberate and meaningful look. As much as I like it here, it's okay if we leave now. We can always come back to see the poppies and the fireflies again, right? Cove met your eyes, waiting for what you were going to say in response. I'd be worried I'd wake up with a spider making its web in my mouth, or a snake in your clothes trying to get some warmth. I think you have way too wild of an imagination, Bonnie, but then again, aren't you from Australia? Maybe that is a very different case. I've seen horrible content regarding wildlife in Australia. Bugs equal protein, yes, that is the optimistic way of looking at it. If it was a friendly snake, after the initial shock, it could be kinda cute. Snakes are cute. They're cool. They're cool. They're cool. Anyway, what are we gonna say? What did he say? Yeah, we can always come. Yeah, right. I'd like that. Cove blinked slowly, his eyes still locked on you, but you didn't need to see his face to know that he adored you. I don't like this illustration. If there had been any room for doubt, the tender way he spoke would have filled it up. Really irreplaceable, huh? Cove beamed at you. His expression was so unlike the one he'd worn when you first found him here, swaddled in sadness and uncertainty. Yet he couldn't help but glimpse that boy once more underneath his bright expression and matured features. He does not look mature.
Come on.
He offered you a hand. You accepted it, your palm fitting around his. Cove lifted himself up, pulling you along too. Our parents probably aren't gonna come running for us this time. We've got to make our own call. And I say that we can't hide away forever. Poppy Hills is just one part of things. There are more out there for us than this time and this place alone. Let's enjoy it. Yay! You couldn't say whether you were the one that broke into a run, if Ko had been the one to start it, or if your feet had simultaneously made the choice for you both. Then the end result was the same. The two of you dashing down the hill like children, but with the nostalgic revelry that could only come as an adult. This is dragging so long. If I find truth in Christianity and find answers to the moral problems with God, then I will leave everything and move to Japan as a missionary. I could say hi to you in person. You'd have to wait for me to move back to Japan, though. I currently live in Finland. I'm looking forward to your answers to the moral problems with God. Although I would mostly be in Hokkaido, but Hokkaido is great. Hokkaido is great, and it has nice weather and snowy winters. Who knows what the climate change will do about it? But you know, Hokkaido is a solid place to move to. It's big island. Anywhere there is, not anywhere there is, but there's places. There's places in Hokkaido. As the wind whipped past you, you knew that family and friends were waiting at the... I don't care. Life takes another step forward. Another step forward. Reach the end of the game. Of the compete... Wait, what? What? Is this gonna get me copyright problemized? What? What is happening? What is happening? Eh? Okay. So I guess that was not the summer memory, but we actually played the part that ends the high school part. So now we have... Oh my god! Next stream we can actually finish this game. Next stream we can actually finish the game. And Hokkaido is great. That's why I would move there. Yeah, that was my like #1 choice to go to, you know, exchange. But I was only offered half a year exchange in Sapporo, and I was like, I'd rather go for 1 year in Osaka. So that's why I went to Osaka. This is... I am flabbergasted, I guess. What the heck? It just ended. What is this? Okinawa! Have you ever been to Okinawa? I didn't go there, but I'd be very interested in visiting. So I guess we just like finished the official parts of the game, and then now there's left the adult part. This is truly something, isn't it? I'm gonna let the credits roll, but then let's see what happens. This is not the worst song they could have played here, but it's not my favorite either. There's a lot of supporters here, alright. I wonder when this will end. Is this gonna take like 3 minutes? Okay, but my scheduling was perfect. I was thinking like in 10 minutes my turn to use the washing machines begins. I was thinking like it would be nice to like end the stream around like these times. This was perfect. I don't care about supporters. I'm really sorry about this. Can we skip this? Thank you for playing. Great. And now comes the in-between, which is the last part of the game, where we can do one thing, and that is the only thing I care about. Save. Let's see. How do I change Cove's looks? Can I change Cove? Oh wait. No way did they allow me to actually... They actually allowed me to roll. To the previous chapter with my mouse. Okay. Where can I change how Cove looks? Because I ain't looking at displeasing Cove anymore, okay? I have preferences. Yes. Okay, both. Okay, okay. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I mean, I could live with the glasses with this hair. Let's see all the hair options. Short, middle, this, that. Okay, this is fine. I'm fine with this. Kind of brave outfit choice. Do we keep the glasses? I mean, okay, this isn't that bad. Let's add him some tattoos. Oh no, these are ugly tattoos. Let's not have tattoos there. You know what? Oh, there's body types too. Okay, I'm not that against this. Okay, I thought this would be horrible. Okay, okay, warm and sporty. Okay, I'm fine with that actually. That was a positive surprise. I'm gonna glow up. Yeah, he did. Which initiative level would you like? Okay, this is the biggest bullshit of the game, okay? It offers this. The game offers this. Which initiative level would you like Cove to have for step 4? Like how aggressively he will initiate physical contact. And that got me all excited when I first played the game through. And then it's all for nothing. What other shirts are there? There's this, there's this, and this, and then there's pants. Oh, I don't want these glasses. Those glasses. I don't know. Could this be better? Could this be better? I don't know. A bracelet. And let's keep the bird theme there in the right wrist bracelet to remind you of the shirt. That ain't bad. This outfit. Okay, we are done. Let's go with high initiative and save it here. Holy shit, I'm so proud of us. I am so proud of us. We were able to finish. That was a positive surprise. We fucking ended it. We ended it, the high school part, and we have finally entered the final phase of the game. And we can finish that one in a little lengthier stream, or maybe in 2 streams. We'll see how exhausted I get of the game, but there's at max 2 more streams of this game and it's done. We are actually finishing a game on this channel again. We are actually finishing a game. For now I see too many moral dilemmas with God and too many unanswered questions. For one, the concept of hell, if he knows where everyone will end up before even creating them, doesn't that mean he creates some souls for the sole purpose of going to hell? Hell yeah! I suppose the hell yeah is for the ending a game on the channel. Yeah, those are some of the things about religion that just, you know, are interesting to see from the sideline. Yeah. Whatever works for you, go for it. As long as it doesn't hurt other people. Anyway, that's that for today's stream. I am delighted it ended. We'll see when I next play Our Life. Let's do it ASAP. I'm so excited about ending a game. I'm so excited about this. Okay. Yeah, I won't be streaming this week anymore. Busy weekend. But next week I'll try again at least 2 streams. Probably the milk outside a bag of milk. And then maybe Nier, maybe Baldur's Gate, maybe something else. thank you for being here. Thank you for saying hi in the chat. It was lovely to have some company. I'll try my best with the schedules. I'll try to see if there are mess ups. I'll look at it. I'll try my best. Anyways, otherwise, thank you for being here, and I hope to see you another time. Have a good one, and I hope you have a great weekend ahead. And if it's not that great, I know you'll pull it through. Bye bye.